A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the coverage of Los Alamitos racing for a Saturday evening, featuring 8 races on a fast track highlighted by the Grade 2 AQHA Racing Championship Challenge. Here are the program changes. Race 1 opens the $1 early double, the $1 early pick 4, and the $1 place pick all. Number 6 carries £5 over. Race 2 gets the rolling pick 3s underway. $1 pick 3s rolling across most of the program. First time Lasix for number 3. Draw close. Well, he's a first time starter. So Lasix for number 3. And we scratch number 4, Wicklow Way. Number 4 is scratched. Race 3. First leg of the $2 pick 6. There is a $57,000 carryover. No changes to report in the first leg, race 3. Race 4 is clear of program changes while opening the $1 mid-card double. The 5th race kicks off the $1 late pick 4. Scratch number 6, Outlaw In-Law. Number 6 out of race 5. In the 6th race, scratch number 2, Indecision. Number 2 comes out of race 6. Race 7, first half of the $1 late double. Number 5 carries £5 over. Put the pen through number 6 up to Forgive. Scratch number 6 from race 7. And race 8, the grade 2 feature, is clear. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gateworks to show you for race 4. A couple of gate drills for the 4th race, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2, MG London Night, worked from the inside on July 4. She moved her head before the gate opened, but settled and was looking straight ahead right before the starter pushed the button. She came away cleanly on a straight path, but then did get a little crowded by Golden One. MG London Night handled it nicely and pulled away from the competition to win the drill comfortably in 12.7 seconds. This will be her second career start, following a debut 7th on May 9. Number 5, Scary Sherry, went solo on July 18. She left cleanly and on a straight path while travelling under a hand ride. Scary Sherry moved away from the rail after the 16th pole, floating outwards slightly, but maintaining her rhythm to the wire in an improved 12.4 clocking after finishing 7th in her July 5 debut. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gateworks to show you for the 5th race. Number 1, Rose Bowl, on June 13, worked from the outside post in 12.6 seconds. She hopped away from the gate, trailed early, and was flagged right-handed, and then livened up from the 16th pole onwards, flying to the wire ahead of Way Shining, and continuing with a strong gallop out. Rose Bowl, beautifully bred by favourite Cartel from Remember Me Rose, was scratched from a similar event back on July 19. Number 2, CD El Rey Favorito, on July 18, worked in between horses, going in 12.5 seconds. He was off balance leaving the gate, then drifted inwards before levelling out after the gap. He was under a hand ride from there and finished solidly alongside Love to Flirt, while trailing Big Kicks Cartel by a length. CD El Rey Favorito maintained a nice tempo during his gallop out. He returns to action, looking to improve on a pair of out-of-the-money efforts. Number 7, Machine Gone, on July 8, worked from the inside post in 12.5. He was a little fractious in the gate and swung his head upwards, leaving there. He still came away with the lead, extending his advantage over Dashing Target while veering inwards in the process. He ran with his head to the side at one point of this drill before looking more comfortable nearing the wire. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple of gateworks to show you for the 6th race. Number 1, Lucasy, on June 13, worked from the inside post with an empty stall to his outside. He was a little antsy in the gate before taking a short step away from there. He led early under a comfortable ride and continued under a fast tempo the rest of the way to win the drill by daylight in 12.3 seconds, finishing ahead of Dulce Glorietta on the outside and Political Comment, who worked in between horses. Lucasy maintained a good rhythm through his gallop out. Number 5, Celtic Cowboy, on July 15, used a flipping halter in this solo drill and was off fast, but needed several strides to settle into a rhythm. Even then, he began to shift inwards, turning his head to the side while drifting closer to the rail. He continued with a quick stride before his rider had to grab a hold of him as he inched even closer to the rail. Celtic Cowboy clocked 12.2 seconds. He has finished 3rd in each of his career starts, including in a trial to eventual Grade 1 Ed Burke runner-up, Faultless. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a gate drill for the 7th race. Number 7, Could Be Hot, worked solo in this 220-yard drill, clocking 12.2 on July 15. He angled inwards leaving the gate before levelling shortly after. Could Be Hot displayed a beautiful motion from there and finished with plenty to spare, before continuing with a confident gallop out around the turn. Could Be Hot will make his seasonal debut at his first start for trainer Jimmy Glenn Jr., who trained the Dam, and as Baby Foose. And as Baby Foose was a winner and finished in the top 3 in 6 of her 14 career starts.
Thank you, Michael, for the scratches and changes and the gate workouts for some of the contenders that will be running later on tonight. 8 races on the program here on Saturday night at Los Alamitos. Welcome back to the desk. Jose Contreras alongside Ulysses Gomez. And we got a pick 6 carryover in excess of 57,000.
That's going to start in race number 3, but we have the early pick 4 here in the opener as we have $5,000 claimers going to go the 4.5 furlong distance. One filly taking on the boys on the outside. Lady Victoria taking on 5 of these boys.
Yeah, it's going to be a good event to kick off the card here. Let's take a glance at this program. We began the race number 1 with a dollar place pick all, the early pick 4, early double as well. 4.5 furlongs, early money showing up on Allen's Conquest right now.
That's my top selection. A nice second place finish last time out. Stopped the clock in 53.13. Couldn't catch the winner that went 52.60. I think anywhere around that 53 flat clocking is going to be good enough. And I like where Allen's Conquest is drawn. And I like that Jesus Uranga goes back to give the opportunity to D.D. Cruz.
Jesus Uranga with the winner across Santa Del Mar yesterday. I like the 4 Thirsty Gambler. I like the second start off the layoff, and I like the class drop. Wasn't that far off the leaders. Eric Garcia trying to get back into the wing column there since returning from an injury. So I'll give the 4 the top pick. You go with the 5. And the morning line favorite was Bet Diam, who's currently 9-2 on the board. But the odds are still going to be moving over the next 15 minutes. Race number 2,000-yard event for the 3-0s and up. 1 scratch out of there, scratch the 4. Is it all about Country On?
I think the race goes through Country On because that was a big 4th place finish during the daytime on June 28th. But take a look at Enchanting Force. There's 4 works on here. Bullet drill of 59 flat on June 12th. Prior to that, has a 46 and change half-mile drill out the gate. So I don't think it's all about Country Home. I think the race goes through the 5, but watch out with the 7, first-time starter, Enchanting Force.
Yeah, the race does go through Country Home. He shows that speed here over the nighttime oval. They might be running for second, but yes, Enchanting Force does look like one of the intriguing lightly raced runners in that second event. Race number 3. This is where the pick 6 begins. 57,000 plus. Let's talk about this sequence because it begins right here with a field of 8.
A tough field of 8. These are $5,000 claimers. Fillies and mares going to go the 4.5 furlong distance. Tough field. I lean toward Chapina Pasadena because of the consistency, but it's not as easy as that. I think this looks like the type of survive and advance in the pick 6 sequence.
It's tough. I could see myself going 3-4 deep, and hopefully that will be comfortable enough. Chapina Pasadena looks like a major player, but my top pick is the 8 Rousing Jewel. I like the cutback in distance. I like that Monroy takes the call and the outside post because there's not a ton of getaway speed. In this spot, you're going to be looking at run out each run with a stretch out to be one of the prominent leaders. But I think Rousing Jewel has every opportunity to work out a pretty good trip from that outside post.
I agree. I think the outside post is going to be key. Take a look at the other Angela Aquino runner as well, 12-1 E-Box Dream Girl. Last time this horse went that 1,000-yard distance back in March, it's a solid second place finish. So big price, but I think it seems like one of those races to start the pick 6 where you might get a price to start off the sequence.
I would go 8-7-3 as my top 3 there in race number 3. Race number 4, quarter horse event, 350 yards. Maidens there for the fillies, 2-year-olds. Got a field of 7 there. Romoland is 8-5 on the morning line. You know how high I was on this one to begin his career. But she's been her own worst enemy. Can she take advantage of her experience up to this point?
I think she can, but like you said, she's been her own worst enemy. Well, you could say that about the other runners as well. Island on attack, same thing. Fractious at the gate, hasn't been able to get out in good order. A lot of these runners have that same consistent trouble out of the gate. It's just a matter of which one can get out. Romoland has experience. I would not blame you to go there. I land on attack because of that effort two back with trouble. But up and down this 7-horse field, all of them have had trouble out of the gate. Which one is going to get out in good order?
The more I look at that race number 4, the more I'm leaning towards I got to take a stand with Romoland. Because I'm getting 350 yards in a field that's still very suspect. If he can just get out, she can get out way with them in range, she's got the late kick.
And it's second time Eduardo Nicasio as well. I think that helps.
Yeah, I'll go 4, 6, 7 as the top 3 there. But Romoland to me would probably be the horse I would want to take a stand there in the horizontal wagers. Race number 5 will be the start of the late pick 4. 300 yards for the maiden. Scratch the 6. Leaving us with a field of 8.
Field of 8. I land toward LA Raven. The 8 for Jesus Nunez. Jesus Ayala in town to ride. Like the 4th place finish last time out. Step slow, only missed by a neck. That's where I'm leaning toward. This race also seems like race number 4, a bit wide open. Race number 4 is at 350 yards. This is at 300 yards. And with that said, you get one filly in here. Instead of facing the fillies in race number 4, Mike Castleman opts to go here because of the 300-yard distance on the rail.
And given the scenario where LA Raven is likely going to be favored, she hasn't broken up to this point. Excuse me, he hasn't broken up to this one. He's shown some ability, but there's some question marks there. I would lean towards one of the first-time starters, Machine Gun, the 7 of Rose Bowl. They both worked fairly well for their pedigrees, 1250 and 1260 respectively. So I would go 7-8-1 as my top 3, but that is a very difficult race in my opinion.
I agree, because I even give a look at the other first-time starter, Eclipses, out of the Jose Flores barn. 2 solid drills, 1240. Both of them 220 yards out of the gate.
That is a very competitive race number 5 to start the late pick 4. Race number 6, final pick 3 opportunity of the program. Quarter horses, 350 yards for the 2-year-olds. Scratch it to indecision. Is it just a 2-horse race between Unusual and Celtic Cowboy?
You got to look at Golden Warfighter. I land on Unusual as a top pick. Lucas A had a solid drill that we just saw Michael Rona go over. Celtic Cowboy had a good drill. Golden Warfighter is between Unusual and Celtic Cowboy. I think this could be 3 horses, noses on the wire.
If Lucas A did not draw the rail for the debut, he likely would have been probably my top pick. I'm going to put him in 3rd because the experience I think is a little bit better for the other ones. Unusual will be the top pick, but I am interested in the 1. I think the workout was solid. I'm just worried about about the inside post. So Unusual over Celtic Cowboy over Lucas A. 3-5-1 would be my top pick.
It helps Lucas say that indecision scratched out, now going to be drawn next to Unusual.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll help him latch on and follow.
Race number 7, 2 races left. You know what time it is. 350 yards for the maidens in race number 7. Scratch the 6. Leave it with a field of 6. Hassan Pipi has been there a neck ahead, 3/4. Can this one be finally in the maiden diploma ranks?
If it is, it's going to be without me because I've been chasing Hassan PP for all 4 of those last second place finishes. Have not been rewarded. I'm going to lean to the draw of Could Be Hot off of a layoff on the outside. Scratch a 6 up to forgive. But once again, this is another maiden race. This one for older horses that is wide open tonight.
I like Could Be Hot off the layoff. Now joining the barn of Jimmy Glenn. Good workout. First time Lasix. Outside pose. Peinado. There's a lot of positives for Could Be Hot. That would be my top pick there. But I can't let Hassan PP beat me. I just can't.
I think a horse you have to include as well is Good Mischief, the 3. Going to appreciate the 350 yards. This horse is getting better out of the gate as the career progresses. This horse wants the distance. I think the 3 Good Mischief is an include.
We arrived at the finale of the Grade 2 AQHA Racing Championship Challenge. 43,000 plus in the purse. 440 yards is the distance. Scoops Dynasty, a previous Grade 1 winner here, Los Alamitos, returns. Bold and Beautiful, 8-5 in the morning line for Juan Aleman. Second in the Abigail Cuananacoa. Only a field of 5, but a very good field of 5 lining up.
Very competitive field of 5. You have He's My Sweetheart on the outside, 6 for 10 lifetime. Whiskey West loves to win races. Bit of a off effort last time out. Look out for this horse from the rail. I land on Bold and Beautiful for Juan Aleman, Eduardo Nicasio, but you got Edgar Ramirez in town to ride Invasive as well. I think this is a fun way to close out the card. $43,000 on the line, Grade 2 event. Are you on the 7-year-old, Scoops Dynasty.
I gave the 2 the top pick, Bold and Beautiful, because if she runs the first 350 yards for that 40-yard event in 1740, like she did last time out, she might be long gone.
I agree with you. That's why I landed on Bold and Beautiful. And this is where I would single. The way the pick six sequence plays out, I would like to go deep, survive early, lead up to a single in Bold and Beautiful, test my luck with this 4-year-old mare.
Call to the post here for race number 1. There's the pick 4 tickets cycling. Chris Wade, George Duarte, our Equity Shark Caller, and myself there with the suggested pick 4 tickets. And George and I will be opposite singles coming up in race number 4. About to get our riders up. 7 minutes to post time for race number 1. We'll check out the runners, and we'll pick it up after the parade when Mike Corona makes the introduction.
Many thanks, Jose and Ulysses. Good evening to you, gents. And we look forward to the upcoming 8-race card with the first not too far away. Jockeys preparing to mount for the opener at 4.5 furlongs, a thoroughbred condition claiming event for 3-year-olds and up. This race opens the $1 early double, the $1 early pick 4, and the $1 place pick all. There is one additional overweight to what we gave you earlier with the program changes. That's in the second race for number 6. Ricardo Ramirez will be 4 pounds over. 4 over for Ramirez in race 2 on number 6. Pedro Flores getting a leg up aboard number 1, Bet the Om, who is owned jointly by trainer Troy Dale and Leonard Haraga. Number 2 is Talisker Bay, raced by Rosamund Barclay, trained by Gloria Haley and ridden by Francisco Orduna Rojas. 3, Last Baby, owned by George Schmidt, trained by Monty Meyer. The rider is Ricardo Ramirez. Number 4, Thirsty Gambler, is trained by Jesus Nunez for Mike Flory. Eric Garcia is aboard. 5, Allen's Conquest, is owned and trained by Jesus Uranga, piloted by Damian Cruz. Angela Aquino is the owner-trainer of number 6, Lady Victoria, who has Jose Alcala for company.
Saturday night racing at Los Alamitos about to begin, just 4 minutes away here from race number 1. 8 races on the program. Got a greatest stakes event in race number 8. We got a pick 6 carryover, 2-night pick 6 carryover coming up in race number 3. But race number 1 begins the early pick 4 in the dollar place pick all. Yuli says money's beginning to even out a little bit. We saw the one as high as 9-2. Now trying to buy for co-favoritism at 8-5. Excuse me, 9-5 versus 8-5 with Allen's Conquest.
That's what I expected. I thought Bet the Om would take more money, 6-5 morning line. I land on Allen's Conquest. I like the 5. I expected somewhere near that 2-1 range. Right now you're getting 8-5 and 2-1. I think that'll change. I think by the time they get to the gate, you're going to see the 1 as the betting favorite.
Who grabs the lead here?
Hard to say. It doesn't really seem like there's a lot of speed. I think it's going to go to the filly, actually, the 3-year-old filly on the outside. I think she possesses enough speed. She's drawn to the outside. Alcala has to be aggressive from that post and try to get over. So if I had to pick one, I think Lady Victoria, the 6, might be on the front end.
I think we're going to see more speed from Thirsty Gambler. That's why I made the 4 my top pick. He was showing some okay speed, better speed, last season in the fall and winter. He came off a significant layoff from November to July, and he broke fairly well. He just could not keep up with the early runners. And let's face it, he was 22-1 against that allowance field last time out. This is a significant class drop. There should be better fitness. And I thought the price was going to be fair because it always looked like the 1 and 5 were going to take money no matter what, right? So it always felt like at minimum, the 4 was going to be at minimum a third choice depending on where the 6 landed. And 5-1 is better than I expected. So I expect a good effort. I would take 5-1 here on Thirsty Gambler.
You got to be loving that 5-1, and it looks like it's going to hang around there because the win money's coming in on the 1 and the 5, and the 6 is holding strong. I thought the 6 would float up just on the simple fact that this is a 3-year-old filly facing older boys. But sticking around at 5-1, that just means that the 4 Thirsty Gamblers are also going to stick around at that range. They're both taking the same amount of play, so you got to be loving Thirsty Gambler in that 5-1 price.
Yeah, there's our pick 4 tickets cycling there. 145 with 5-7. 3, 6, 7, 8. The 4 is a single for me in race number 4. I talked about that leg, race number 4. That's a 350-yard quarter horse maiden. It's all about Romoland for me because you're getting 350. George is all about attack. I do think it's a 2-horse race. I think it's those 2. So we're both, going our separate ways as far as the opinions there. But I think if it's not Romoland, it's attack. And I assume George probably thinks if it's not attack, it's likely Romoland. Chris is going to go 3 deep in that 4th leg, 4, 6, and 3 Boisterous, who finished 2nd last time out. Zamudio and Lozano have been on a pretty good roll in the last few weeks. But his single is in race number 2. That is the 5 Country And, the 5 is going to be favored. The race number 2 goes to Country no matter what, right? So it's all about whether you think this one's going to wire them or not. And Chris is saying, you know what? Why take another one? That's all I need.
And I agree with taking a stand somewhere in this early pick 4 sequence. I don't blame Chris for going to Country Home.
Where would you take a stand in this pick 4 sequence?
I would take a stand actually in the 4th race. And I'm with George.
Attack?
Attack.
Yeah.
I think it's a 2-horse race. I would go with attack. I think the 350 yards is going to be key. This horse has yet to get out of the gate in good order. Actually, nobody in that 4th race has gotten out of the gate in good order, so I take a stand with attack. The reason why I would not take a stand with Country Home is on the simple fact that this horse has 1 start. It's not like there's a big advantage. And when you see a 46 flat out of the gate, you know a horse has speed. And that's Enchanting Force. Enchanting Force posted a 46 flat gate drill 5 works ago. Early June. So it's hard to ignore that.
It is hard to ignore. And it's like the balancing act, right? You have a horse already showed really good speed on debut, has the experience, but you have another horse that is well-bred, has some pretty good work, but it's a first-time starter. So it's like a balancing act.
Right. And I don't blame Chris. I mean, you're going to take a stand, take it somewhere with Country Home. You believe that this horse shows that speed and runs away from it. By all means, he's shown it, right? 21-2. 44-1 over the daytime oval. Can do that again. He might be able to get away.
There you see, my ticket 145. George went 1 and 5. And that, and in the second event, George went 5, 6, 7. So he's using not only Country On, but Awesome Olga, the 6, and the 7, Chanting Force, the one we're talking about. The 6, Awesome Olga, for Javier Jose Sierra coming in from Santa Anita, did chase a 22-3 opening quarter last seen at Santa Anita. And there's a Bullet Local workout for Awesome Olga as well.
And just like in this opening race, Lady Victoria facing the boys, Awesome Olga, a filly, taking on the boys in this maiden event race number 2.
Yeah, and that each of these legs, this early pick 4 sequence, has the, well, I'll say except race number 3, the races 1, 2, and 4 has the makings of like, all right, there's a horse I could take a stand here, but do I want to? do I want to, or do I want to use a few more? Right?
Correct. Even here in the opener, you see it's bet down like a
Yeah.
two-horse race. The 1 and the 5, you could take a stand here. Wherever you want, you can take a stand. The key is that third race, the beginning of that pick six
Yeah.
sequence. 8 deep, 8 runners that, honestly, you could go in any direction. If I were playing that pick six ticket, if I were to tell you, I would probably be going 4 deep to start it off. And that still would not be enough.
Because the more you dig, the more there's a couple of good racing lines for a number of these runners.
That third race is tough. I would just survive it. Survive in advance.
Survive in advance.
But you can't hit the all button because it's an 8-horse field.
And it's a $2 base wager. It's gonna get
Exactly.
expensive.
But
You have to take stands here and there.
But if you do catch a price and survive it, you're going to be looking good as the card goes on.
Pick four pool about to hit the 6-digit mark. About to be over $100,000. Thank you for joining us here on the Saturday Night of Racing. Carryover in the pick six, over $57,000. That would begin in race number 3. We got a place pick all right here, and we got the AQHA Racing California Challenge Championship coming up in race number 8. Let's go out to Mike Corona for the call.
Moving into line. Bet the Orm and Thirsty Gambler, followed in by Talisker Bay. Allen's Conquest is the next to line up as the early pick 4 pool jumps above $115,000. Last Baby to gate 3, Lady Victoria. The 3-year-old filly will complete the line. Favoritism disputed by Bet the Orm and Allen's Conquest, numbers 1 and 5. They are 8-5 and 3-2 respectively. Racing! Lady Victoria maybe tossed the head a little, leaving gate 6. Last Baby is away best. Lady Victoria quick to range up and challenge for the lead, and Allen's Conquest is close handy between them. Followed by Bet the Orm, Thirsty Gambler, and Talisker Bay splits horses at the tail. 4 lengths covering them. Lady Victoria just the leader from Last Baby. Last Baby punches through on the inside, and Allen's Conquest bustles through. It's Allen's Conquest now. Allen's Conquest getting past Last Baby. Lady Victoria relegated to 3rd. Bet the Orm is in behind them, a little awkwardly positioned now with room 1 off the rail, but Allen's Conquest has dashed away. Heads for home on a 3-length lead. Bet the Orm is getting into his work well, but it's Allen's Conquest clear of Bet the Orm, and Allen's Conquest beats Bet the Orm 3/4 of a length, a diminishing lead, but Allen's Conquest was able to kick clear at a crucial point and prevailed in the run home. It'll be a popular exacta. They've each gone off at 8-5, with a few extra bucks on the nose of Allen's Conquest, number 5, who was the unofficial winner. 5 beating 1. Allen's Conquest over Bet the Orm, with Last Baby number 3 finishing 3rd. And 4th was 2, Talisker Bay. The time 51.83. The result is official. Placings officially 5132. Alan's Conquest is a chestnut gelding, 5 years of age, by Conquest Fahrenheit, from the Carpe Diem mare Stellar Sue, bred in California by Rockingham Ranch. Owned and trained by Jesus Uranga, ridden by Damien Cruz. The $1 exacta, $5. $1 trifecta, $13.90. 10-cent superfecta, $6.23. Race 2 comes up at $7.51 with $1 pick 3 wagering. Number 3, Draw Close, should be listed for Lasix. Lasix for the debuting Draw Close, number 3. Or Draw Close. And we're scratching number 4, Wicklow Way.
Well, for the place pick all players, the Colt favorites run 1-2, so I would imagine 99% of the place pick all tickets are alive after leg number 1. But it go to Allen's Conquest, who just looks stronger at the top of the stretch.
Sure did. Kicked away. Had that in-between run. As Lady Victoria got to the front end, was about a neck in front, but could not have enough speed to get on over and close out the path of Allen's Conquest. Betty Ohm comes running on late for that second place money, but a nice ride by Didi Cruz on Allen's Conquest.
Yeah, gets the win with the class drop. Congrats to owner-trainer Jesus Uranga. Damian Diaz Cruz, the winning rider. Let's take a look at the replay there for that 4.5 furlong opener. We mentioned the betting got fairly tight, but in the end, Allen's Conquest was a slight favoritism. Lady Victoria broke sharp, and once she broke this sharp from the outside post, I thought there was a glimpse of an opportunity to drop in, but she never truly was able to clear the 3. And in that point, it kind of opened up the path for both the 3 and the 5 to accelerate.
And look at the body language. Jose Alcala keeps looking over while the 3, Last Baby and Ricardo Ramirez are shoving, as are Didi Cruz and Allen's Conquest. And by this point, it's too late. They already ran to you and ran on by. Allen's Conquest gets the best of it between them. Last Baby starts backing up. And then you're going to see 4th place there. That's the one. Betty Ohm going to split them, find the run. But Allen's Conquest just got first run and got away. Opens up a couple lengths and is going to get able to get onto the wire. Nice ride by Damian Diaz Cruz.
Yeah, good ride here. Betty just closing well there late, but ran out of real estate to complete the exacta. So fairly good trip for Allen's Conquest. Betty had to navigate a little bit of a different trip from the rail, but was clearly second best. And I give credit to Damian Diaz Cruz because there was an opportunity where it wasn't as comfortable to find that path, but 1 to 6 wasn't able to cross over. He committed to make sure he didn't get dirt in the face.
And here's that head-on view. You see Jose Alcala. He keeps looking over his shoulder, keeps on looking at these other riders, keeps on seeing where they're at. But he's not really putting any pressure on them either because he's a whole path between these 2 horses. If you're going to be doing that, at least lay on them, at least make it tight. By this point, it's too late. Damian Diaz Cruz not only finds a spot, but runs on by to get the victory.
Yeah, and Allen's Conquest, who had been second when last seen on July 12th, relished the slight class drop and gets the easy win. So final odds there, final payout, 520 on the win end, 5-1-3-2 in race number 1 to kick off the card at Los Alamitos. We're 14 minutes away to race number 2.
And in the second race, we're just getting word of a late scratch. Ladies and gentlemen, late scratch coming through in the second race of number 1, Karma's Revenge. Number 1, Karma's Revenge, is a late steward's scratch from race number 2.
In on Night Racing's Best Bets, featuring our early and late pick 4, plus the traditional pick 6. On Sunday nights, we're adding $10,000 of promotional new money to the pick 6 pool if there's no carryover, with total pools often reaching $70,000. Plus, mark your calendars for stakes action ahead, including the John Deere California Juvenile on August 8th and the Grade 1 Go Man Go on August 23rd. For Vessels Club reservations, call 714-820-2681 or join us at Burgart's. The best of racing, always at Los Alamitos. Another huge weekend of live nighttime racing is on tap at Los Alamitos. Saturday night, we feature a big Pick 6 carryover of over $57,000 with the total pool expected to top $175,000. Plus, mark your calendars for huge stakes action ahead, including the John Deere California Juvenile on August 8th and the Grade 1 Go Man Go on August 23rd. For Vessels Club reservations, call 714-820-2681 or join us at Burgart's. Big Pick 6 carryover of over $57,000 on Saturday night.
7 minutes to post for race 2. A 1,000-yard maiden for 3-year-olds and up, with $1 pick 3 wagering an option. Late scratch of number 1 Karma's Revenge. The original scratch was number 4 Wicklow Way. So the post parade will be led by number 2 McGilligan, owned by Rosamond Barclay, trained by Jorge Bautista, ridden by Eric Garcia. Number 3 is Draw Close, owned jointly by trainer Terry Eaton and Joe Gibson. Draw Close should be listed for Lasix. 5 Country Homme is owned by Audrey DeBard, trained by Cesar de Alba, ridden by Francisco Monroy. Here comes number 6 Awesome Olga, beneath Ricardo Ramirez. This filly is trained by Javier Sierra for Francis Lagatuta. Number 7, Enchanting Force, races for Ed Allred. Jimmy Glenn Jr. applies the polish. Cesar Ortega does the steering. Number 8, Hydroplane, is owned by Rosamond Barclay, trained by Gloria Haley, accompanied by Francisco Orduna Rojas.
Hola Saúl, ¿cómo estás, hermano?
5 minutes away here for race number 2 at Los Alamitos. Second leg of the early double, second leg of the place pick on, second leg of the pick 4 as well. We knew the scratch of the 4 already, Lisa's, but a late scratch announced not too long ago of the one Karma's Revenge.
Kara's Revenge will be out. That's going to leave us with the field of 6 now. As 2 scratches here in this second race. Favoritism, like we spoke of, going to go to Country Home.
Yeah.
I think the race goes through Country Home, but the horse that intrigues me is Enchanting Force. And I'm loving the 9-2. I don't know if I'll get 9-2 or we'll get 9-2 on a win bet, but that is intriguing to me on a horse that you know has speed out of the gate, has shown it in the morning.
Yeah, and the interesting thing that the scratch of the 1 is going to funnel more money towards a 5. It might float up by default a few of the other prices. Now, anything that you saw in the warm-up or the parade that kind of shied you away from the 7 at all?
No, not at all. I like the energy. This horse did show some energy while getting Cesar Ortega legged up, but I love the looks of him. He's long, he's rangy. I like that. I like that this horse has shown speed out of the gate with that body size. I think this horse would only be able to carry it 1,000 yards, should not be an issue, but that gate speed is going to be there on the 7. My top pick goes to the 5, but it's hard to bet a maiden at 1-2. You just can't. So you got to find some value. I think it is with the 7 Enchanting Force. Took a click down, 4-1.
I know we still got one more race to the start of the Pick 6 carryover. I'm kind of glad this leg wasn't in the Pick 6 because it makes the Pick 6 more intriguing, in my opinion. Because if this race was in the sequence, the 5 would have been a single in 90% of the tickets.
Well, and kudos to the racing office, right? Because you look at the first race, it looked like a 2-horse race. You look like the second race, it looks like it could be bet like a 2-horse race.
Keep him out of the Pick 6.
With that said, you want him in that Pick 4, but you keep him out of the Pick 6 because there's only 3 races around the turn.
Yes.
So you want to close out the card with the quarter-horse events. Those were the first 3 races. So you make the last of the races around the turn, the beginning of the Pick 6. So that's included in the Pick 4 and the Pick 6 as well. And personally, I think that third race is one of the toughest to handicap.
Yes, it is. It kind of looks that way. So I think there's a good sequence coming up for the Pick 6, without a doubt. So race number 2, the race goes through Country Home. It's just hard not to like this horse based on what he did. Now on the flip side, he did fold and he did fade and got beat almost 8 lengths, right? But that was only your first start. You showed pretty good speed. You should make the lead against this group. If you're Francisco Monroy and you are on this horse and you break on top, do you let this one settle and go in your own speed, or do you just gun it and go?
No, you got to go. You got to make sure that this horse gets a breather around the turn. You can't settle and wait, especially with the fact that what looks to be the main competition is a first-time starter. You want to put doubt in this first-time starter's mind right away. This horse does not have any races under his belt. You want to make sure that you let this horse know, like, hey, you're going to chase me every step of the way. So if you're Francisco Monroy, you got to go with Country Home. And on that debut, that was that awkward 6.5 furlong distance debut. Not the 3/4, not the 5 or 5.5, 6.5. That extra 16th is just awkward. And this horse at the top of the turn was only 2.5 lengths off of the leader. So that was a big effort. This horse was moving early, 21-2, 44-1. This horse has the speed out of the gate. You might as well use it to your advantage and go.
By the way, speaking of the first-time starters, Enchanting Force, the mama only raced once. This is the first foal out of that mama. Enthralled, Draw Close, has one sibling that is a 3-time winner. The mare was a 3-time winner while she was sprinting. There was a bullet workout on Draw Close of 36 and change back on July 5th. But the workouts are not as rapid or as attractive as some of the others. And then from the other experienced runners, you got Hydroplane, the 8th, who actually was knocking on the door to break the diploma earlier in the spring. Now you cut back in distance and you go back from the daytime mobile to the nighttime mobile.
And you get the outside draw. I think that is going to be key. 0 for 21 maiden. But you got to say, the last 5 efforts have been the best of Hydroplane's career. So 0 for 21, but the best efforts have come in the last 5 starts. That means this horse is moving in the right direction. I wouldn't be surprised to see Hydroplane chasing him down late if Country Home and Enchanting Force start giving up the lead.
Approaching the gate for this second event, race number 2. 5, 7, 8, my top 3 picks in order of preference. Those races offer a new rolling pick 3. The late scratch of the 1 is going to affect the double probables that we're looking at before the scratch of the 1. So that's going to affect how some of these wheel plays are shown, but the 5 is playing like a clear favorite in those double pools. They're at the gate for race number 2,000 yard for the maidens. And get ready for the Big Six. That's coming up in race number 3. Let's go out to Michael Rona for the load and the call.
Thanks, fellas. Field arriving behind the gate. They're about to move into line. Loading process underway. McGilligan breaks from the inside after the late scratch of number 1, Karma's Revenge. Draw Close moves in next to McGilligan, and Country Om with the number 5 Saddlecloth will effectively have the number 3 post position. Country Om a pronounced favourite, now 3-5 from 4-5. Awesome Olga, the 3-year-old filly, comes forward, followed in by Enchanting Force. Country Om back out to 4-5. Enchanting Force is the 7-2 second elect. And Hydroplane's the last to link up. 3-5 again for Country Om. Set. Racing. Country Om moderately away, not as fast as Hydroplane or McGilligan. Country Om is bursting between them now, and there's plenty of debut pace coming from Enchanting Force. It's Country Om and Enchanting Force linking up and dueling along the back stretch, putting 3 lengths on Hydroplane as the field strings out. It's another 4 lengths to Awesome Olga, followed by McGilligan, and last is Draw Close. Field covered now by a dozen at least. It's Country Om just in front from Enchanting Force, 3/16 to go. Country Om now draws a half length in front. Hydroplane sticking on pretty well in third, a mile clear of the rest. Country Om rails beautifully and kicks clear of Enchanting Force at the 16th. Hydroplane keeps whacking away on the outside, but Country Om in charge. Country Om beats Hydroplane, who nudges Enchanting Force out of the exacta, with McGilligan fourth. Five and a photo. Country Om is the unofficial winner. Came into 2-5 after the odds had been fluctuating between 4-5 and 3-5 in the minutes leading up to the race, but it's 2-5 as the closing quote for Country Om number 5, with a photo required for second. The time, 53.50 seconds. 53.50. Second is number 8, Hydroplane. Third, 7, Enchanting Force. And fourth, number 2, McGilligan. The result is official. Placings officially 5872. Country Om is a 4-year-old chestnut gelding by Om from Following a Dream. 'Tis now the dam sire. Country Om, bred in California by Jacqueline Bousquet, is owned by Audrey DeBard, trained by Cesar de Alba. Winning rider is Francisco Monroy. There is a consolation $1 early double of $3.50 with the late scratch of number 1, Karma's Revenge. The consolation payout returning more than the winning numbers, 5 and 5. Post time for race 3, 8:14. This is the first leg of the $2 pick 6 with a $57,000 carryover. Pick 6 scratches, the 5th race, leg 3, scratch number 6, Outlaw In-Law. The 6th race, scratch number 2, Indecision. And in the 7th race, number 6, Up to Forgive. There are no jockey changes tonight.
Well, Country Om did not disappoint as the short price betting favorite, but he had to work for it.
Sure did. Enchanting Force was pushing Country Home every step of the way. Tired out at the top of the lane, Country Home continues on. And Hydroplane going to run on for that second place money. But this was a nice effort by Country Home. Second time starter, first time in the barn of Cesar de Alba. He's able to hold off the speed of Enchanting Force early and then hold off Hydroplane late.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look at this replay here for race number 2. And there was pretty good speed there for Country Home, but there wasn't getaway type of speed early on. And I think that made the race, at least in the early part down the backstretch, interesting because Enchanting Force, the first time starter, was applying some pressure, kind of making him think twice about what he was doing.
But Francisco Monroy knew exactly how much horse he had. It didn't look like he was ever panicking. Didn't look like he was ever emptying the tank down the backside. I think he just kept this horse's head in front and comfortably so he can finish.
Yeah, and Country Home did get bet down heavily there in that second event, and we'll take a look at the start here. The start was fair for Country Home. It wasn't fast, and then he got into his good rhythm there to put into a position by jockey Francisco Monroy. But look at the body language right from the riders. You would expect the first-time starter to be having to work a little bit harder to keep up with the experienced runner, but this made it a pretty good race on the backstretch.
Sure did. Francisco Monroy sent Country Home on in there. Once he made the lead, you're going to see a little bit of shoving there going into the turn. He just wants to make sure this horse takes that turn properly because it is his first time here at this nighttime oval. And sure enough, Francisco Monroy, veteran rider, been riding for years, picking this horse's head up, giving him some encouragement with that right hand to make sure that he goes on and cuts that corner properly, runs onto the wire. Country Home does not swap leads, stays on that left lead, and a veteran move. At this point, you already know you're in front. You're getting the effort that you want out of your horse. Ain't no point in trying to force that lead change. Just go ahead and let him run onto the wire because you're going to get the victory.
Yeah, gets the win there to bake the diploma in career number 2. You can see there was a little bit of actually a pretty good bump there after the start, but Country Home didn't really let himself get intimidated and kept himself into task.
And by seeing it there on the head-on, you see him come together. On the pan shot, you see Country Home was heads up with those other two runners, so it makes it a lot easier. This horse was parallel with them. They come together, does not take back and moves on with it. And right here you can see around the turn, Francisco Monroy starts that encouragement. Make sure that he has his horse's head picked up. That's key. First time at this nighttime oval, horses have a tendency to drift because the turn is so tight, but not Country Home. Francisco Monroy with a nice ride to get the victory.
Yeah, it's going to get the win there and be a short price betting favorite. 280 on the win end for Country Home. 587 the order of finish. Audrey DeBard, Cesar de Alba, Francisco Monroy, the winning connections of race number 2. We're 12 minutes away to race number 3. Pick 6 carryover, over 57,000 awaiting. We'll talk about it in a moment.
Another huge weekend of live nighttime racing is on tap at Los Alamitos. Saturday night, we feature a big Pick 6 carryover of over $57,000 with the total pool expected to top $175,000. Plus, mark your calendars for huge stakes action ahead, including the John Deere California Juvenile on August 8th and the Grade 1 Go Man Go on August 23rd. For Vessels Club reservations, call 714-820-2681 or join us at Burgart's. Big Pick 6 carryover of over $57,000 on Saturday night. Another huge weekend of nighttime racing is on tap at Los Alamitos. Cash in on night racing's best bets featuring our early and late pick 4, plus the traditional pick 6. On Sunday nights, we're adding $10,000 of promotional new money to the pick 6 pool if there's no carryover, with total pools often reaching $70,000. Plus, mark your calendars for stakes action ahead, including the John Deere California Juvenile on August 8th and the Grade 1 Go Man Go on August 23rd. For Vessels Club reservations, call 714-820-2681 or join us at Burgart's. The best of racing, always at Los Alamitos.
Moving on to the track for race 3. A 4.5 furlong filly and mare claiming race. Number 1, Dallas Alice, is owned by Zepeda Racing and Magna Racing Stable, trained by Oscar Heredia, ridden by Francisco Orduna Rojas. Number 2 is Ebox Dream Girl, owned jointly by trainer Angie Aquino and Howard Nichols. The rider is Jose Alcala. 3, Run Auntie T Run, owned and trained by Jesus Uranga, piloted by Ricardo Ramirez. Aquino is the owner-trainer of number 4, Elegant Sway, who has Damian Cruz for company. 5 is Miss Joni, owned by Jessica Sanchez, conditioned by Jorge Farias, guided by Salvador Vargas. 6, Princess Daddy, trained by Gennaro Vallejo for Elizabeth Medina. Pedro Flores occupies the saddle. Number 7, Chopina Pasadena, is owned by Andy Andrews, prepared by Chuck Treese, ridden by Cesar Ortega. Number 8, Rousing Jewel, is the 3rd Aquino trainee. This mare is owned by Howard and Janet Siegel. The rider is Francisco Monroy. This is the first leg of the $2 Pick 6, for which the carryover is $57,000.
Four minutes away from race number 3, a double pick 6 carryover. Nobody hit it all weekend long last week. No tickets on Saturday, no tickets on Saturday. Should be a nice pool here brewing for this pick 6. And we begin thoroughbreds going 4.5 furlongs in a field of 8.
This is the last race around the turn, so you'll get one race around the turn, and then the last 5 in the sequence are all quarter horses, culminating with the stakes event. I thought this race was tough to handicap. I've been saying it. It's survive and advance for me. Field of 8. You have to at least cover half of them, in my opinion, to get by here. And even then, I'm still fearful of a couple others.
Yes, it is a $2 base wager, so you have to take stands along the way. If not, it's going to be an expensive wager. But having this race as the first leg makes you want to be, you know what, I'll take a stand elsewhere. I want the coverage here.
With that said, the way the pick 6 sequence plays out, I would take a stand in the finale. I just want to get there. And that would be with Bold and Beautiful.
Okay.
If I can get to the finale with Bold and Beautiful as
And
my
just
single,
whatever happens,
happens, let it roll.
Yeah.
That is my pick 6 preference, especially with this opening leg being the way it is.
My stand would be in race number 4, Romoland. I think the 350 yards, it's right up her alley. She's been kind of her own worst enemy out of the gate in a few of those trips, but she's got the talent. She's got the pedigree. She showed talent before the work. She showed talent in some of those races. I think I will be okay. Regardless of what happens, I will be okay with taking a stand with Romoland in race number 4.
And that's not a bad way to go, because in that 4th race, all the horses have had trouble out of the gate. So it's one of them is due to get out in good order, and Romoland has the experience over the competition. You see there at the bottom of the screen, $57,000, 724 carrying, already over $105,000. So
That's
already close to $50,000 of new money.
50,000 in fresh new money already into the pick 6. And then looking towards that sequence, the race number 5, LA Raven was unlucky, I would say, to miss by a neck. But there's some interesting first-time starters in that race number 5. Rose Bowl scratched last weekend. Tremendous pedigree. Favorite Cartel Memory Rose. Eclipses worked 1240. And even Machine Gone looked solid in 1250.
Those are the three debut runners. You have a horse like Lightning Capo. What do we make of this horse finishing fourth in the Desert Classic Futurity at Turf Paradise? Val Camo, the last two efforts, left the gate in front. Last time out, got tired, ended up finishing fifth after being in front. And then to the outside, Bipolar. First time gelding. We don't know what kind of talent this horse has. 3 gate drills for that debut. Was bothered in that debut. Legit excuse. Gets the benefit of the outside draw. The horse that intrigues me in that fifth race, though, Rose Bowl. Horse could have gone against Phillies, going 350 yards. Opted to go against the boys because of the 300-yard distance.
And you know what I found interesting about that is that in the workout that I saw, I felt like she got better in the second half of the work. So I would imagine that she would have liked 350 no problem.
Look at the breeding. Favorite Cartel, Remember Me Rose.
Yeah.
They're screaming 400 yards.
Yeah.
They're screaming the classic 400, 440. That's why Rose Bowl intrigues me in race number 5 because of that decision to go in that spot other than going to the fourth race, which is 350 yards.
873, my top 3 picks here in this first leg there. You can see on the screen. Let's continue through that sequence there. In the race number 6, the scratch for the 2 indecision probably doesn't do much to the wagering. But doesn't that feel like it's going to get bet like a 2-horse race with the Unusual and Celtic Cowboy?
It feels that way. Celtic Cowboy 8-5 morning line, Unusual 2-1. But don't sleep on Golden Warfighter. Buy Golden Boy. These horses are also begging for distance. It's the first time that Golden Warfighter is going to get the 350 yards. Finished second last out. Is drawn between what looks like the 2 horses to beat. That can only help Golden Warfighter. I see this as maybe 3 noses on the wire in the end. Horses 3, 4, and 5 in that 6th race.
And Golden Warfighter did improve significantly the individual clocking last time out. 1567 for 300 yards. Wins a lot of those 3 maiden events, right?
Sure does. With a bit of a bump out of the gate as well. So if Golden Warfighter can get out of the gate in good order, I think this horse can contend with Unusual and Celtic Cowboy.
And then race number 7 there, that would be a maiden event where you have Could Be Hot off the layout. Hassan Pipiva had been knocking at the door. Good Mischief has very good numbers. It's a well-rounded maiden event in race number 7.
And then you have Ming Dynasty, the lone filly. Second place finish last out. The winner went 15:55. Ming Dynasty went 15:64. Now going to get straight out to 350 yards. And Justine Kleber and Mike Castleman, you saw what they did last week.
Man, yes.
They're on fire. So keep an eye on Ming Dynasty facing the boys in race number 7 as well.
And the Grade 2 AQAK Challenge Championship there, race number 8, 440 yards. Bold and Beautiful, you mentioned that would be the one you'd be okay with just taking a stand there. Scoops Dynasty, he's a very classy runner that knows his way around this racetrack.
If you want to take a stand with any of these 5 runners, I'm okay with, because you just want to survive to get there, and that's my thought process, surviving that pick 6 to get to that final leg. And if I were to play a ticket, I would want to be alive to Bold and Beautiful in the finale. Go deep early to get to that finale.
He's My Sweetheart brings a lot of good resume also. 6 for 10 lifetime. He's in gate number 5. Whiskey West, 7 for 26. Joins the bar and Valentino Zamudio. Good gate speed as well. So it's not just about Bold and Beautiful and Scoops Dynasty. They have the resumes. But it's only for the 5, but you can build a case for all 5 of them. Truly can.
I agree with you. If you want to single any of the 5, I'm okay with it as long as you get to that leg. And I love that challenge championship is 440 yards, a classic quarter horse distance of 440 yards. Thoroughbred terms, a quarter mile, 2 furlongs.
They're broaching the gate
to get to that finale.
Broaching the gate for race number 3, and I was listening to this morning's Thoroughbred LA radio show, and Mike Corona, I hear you're liking the 7 Chopina Pasadena as your radio play today.
Yeah, everybody's talking about how open this first leg of the pick 6 is, and granted, it kind of looks that way on paper, but I'm taking a contrarian view. And I made Chopina Pasadena number 7 my pick on the webcast preview show and on the radio this morning. That race 2 back on June 6 was a very good effort after being antsy in the inside stall and breaking inwards and slowly, and then getting blocked behind the tiring leader around the turn. Chopina Pasadena had gate 1 and was 7-2. and finished ahead behind Dallas Alice, who was 15-1 from the outside post. And now they're about similar odds, and Dallas Alice goes to gate 1. And Chapina Pasadena gets an outside post for the first time in about a year. She hasn't had many opportunities from wide draws. I think she sits a really good pressing trip. Probably the 3-horse Run Auntie T Run leads off that 2.5 furlong form, but I think Chapina Pasadena can be in close attendance with a clear trip. The last start third was okay against slightly richer company and gets back now to the $5,000 level of that very good effort 2 starts back. Rousing Jewel's an interesting horse, certainly could be coming strongly, but Chapina Pasadena should have first run on the 8-horse Rousing Jewel. So I'm thinking in the reverse to the majority. We'll see how it all pans out. They're all in the gate, and E-Box Dream Girl was acting up in gate 2. They're about to break. Racing. Run Auntie T Run is away fast, together with Miss Joni and Chapina Pasadena with Rousing Jewel. It's going to be Run Auntie T Run sprinting clear, with Chapina Pasadena moving into second. Miss Joni on the inside and Rousing Jewel's out wide, moving up a level second. Several lengths off to E-Box Dream Girl on the outside of Elegant Sway, who slips along the fence, and then Princess Daddy 3 wide, and last is Dallas Alice. They make the turn past the quarter pole with Run Auntie T Run shifting off the rail, and Miss Joni takes full advantage of that opening, comes through with a level advantage at the top of the stretch, and soon after Miss Joni kicks past Run Auntie T Run from Chapina Pasadena, Rousing Jewel and Elegant Sway. Miss Joni has the lead. Elegant Sway's flying on the inside. Photo, Elegant Sway by a nose to Miss Joni, with Rousing Jewel third, and there are 4 of them lining up for the 4th spot. 12-1. Elegant Sway number 4. This is going to be a win photo, and a close one at that. Angie Aquino saddled 3 horses in the field. Elegant Sway being the longest priced of them. The second longest odds in the field. The horse has dived through inside of Miss Joni, and I thought might have arrived in time. I fancy Elegant Sway number 4 in what would be a significant upset in this opening leg of the pick 6. The time is 52.15 seconds. It is number 4, Elegant Sway, getting up to win from number 5, Miss Joni. 8 is third, Rousing Jewel. 7 is fourth, Chapina Pasadena. 4, 5, 8, 7 unofficially. The result is official. Placings officially 4, 5, 8, 7. $1 exacta, $86.20. 12 to 1 over 6 to 1. $1 trifecta, 494.30. 10 cents super, 165.04. The winner, Elegant Sway, a 6-year-old bay mare by Majestic Harbor from the Munnings Dam Artistic Sway. Bred in California by Harris Farms, owned and trained by Angela Aquino. And giving Damien Cruz 2 of the first 3 races on the program. Damien was on board Allen's Conquest in race 1. Post time for the 4th race, 8:40. 8:40 for race 4, the first half of the $1 mid-card double. The $1 pick 3s continue to roll. Race 4 is clear of program changes. And fellas, as you prepare to recap race 3 for us, I thought I might be able to simplify what looked a bit of a puzzle on paper, and I was proved resoundingly wrong. Chapina Pasadena was up second early, but she was out of play as a serious win candidate by the time they made the turn past the quarter pole. And how many times have we seen Angela Aquino spring an upset? It's the longest priced of 3 Aquino trainees, blowing up the early part of the pick 6 tonight with the big carryover. That puts the cat amongst the pigeons.
And Michael, we were talking about how this race, it kind of felt like if you had 3 deep, you're probably scared of the 4th horse. If you were 4 deep, you're probably scared of the 5th horse, so on and so forth. The other Angie Aquino trainee, Elegant Sway, with the big closing kick to provide the upset in the pick 6.
And that was the key, survive in advance. I told you, you have to go 4 deep, and I'd still be afraid that I didn't cover it. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Had I gone 4 deep, this horse was not in my top 4.
It would have been the 5th.
I would have took the other Angie Aquino, E-Box Dream Girl, before Chapina Pasadena, but that's why they got to run the race. And you start the pick 6 sequence with a bang here with the carryover.
What a way to kick it off. A big-time separator for the tickets that are alive through leg number 1. Here's the replay. And the speed developed with run on TT run. And we knew that, right? But what happened down the backstretch and into the turn, I think affected what I thought was going to be the eventual winner. The 8, to me, was the best horse in the race.
And
Rousing Jewel.
You're going to see it right here. The 3 in Run on TT Run, been running the 2.5 furlong races. Has that big extension blinker on the outside. Ricardo Ramirez is trying to prepare this horse for the turn. But already, this horse already tips its nose up. Ricardo Ramirez is now on that left rein. What happens? You pull that left rein, nose goes inward, shoulder goes outward, which means this horse is going to drift, and sure enough, drifts into the path of the 8 right here, makes the 8 swing even further wide. Now they're in the 6th path, and you're going to get a big run from between them in Elegant Sway, splitting horses and taking the rail run on Miss Joni to get the victory.
What a big late flourish by Elegant Sway to really search late there for the win. Here's a better look here at the head-on. There's the speed of Run on TT Run there in the orange cap there. Second off the rail, now making the lead. And the body language told us this one's going to be a little bit difficult to wrangle here, and keeps drifting, head in, nose in, but drifting out.
And here you go. You're pulling that left rein. What happens? The body's going outward. Ricardo Ramirez now going to try some encouragement. Horse wearing the big extension blinker. Hasn't been around the turn in quite a while. The last 6 starts were at the 2.5 furlong distance. The last time this horse went 4.5 furlongs, August of last year. So close to a year, this horse drifts. And right here, this is key. Stops the momentum of the outside runner, Rousing Jewel, and the stablemate going to take full advantage to run him down.
Elegant Sway, and this one 2260. much of a percentage of tickets are out?
50. At least half of the tickets
Yeah,
are gone.
I was gonna say 60.
At least half of the tickets are gone. Yeah,
Right?
maybe even 60. Yes, hard to come up with. Angela Aquino has 3 in the race. One of them gets the victory, but it's not the one that the betting public thought.
And this view here, the drone is gonna is gonna show us a little bit better about how much the 8 got bothered by the 3. There was some contact. The pan shot and that low shot didn't really show it here. But take a look at what happens heading into the turn. The 8's already kind of reacting to what the 3's doing right here. And right here, the 3 begins to drift. And there's some contact with the hip and the shoulder of the 8 here, right as they're going to make the top of the stretch here, right there.
And it affects
Right
you
there.
a lot because it stops your momentum, right? Not only are you worried about the 3 drifting out, but you look at a horse like the 7, Chapina Pasadena. Cesar
Correct.
Ortega didn't know what
to do.
Ricardo Ramirez was
Yeah.
going to do because the horse drifted right into the path, then came back over. So now you're watching what the horse in front of you is doing. You can't send your horse to a spot that you think is going to be there. Ultimately, though, to me, still looked like Elegant Sway got the best run late, and it looked like the best horse won the race.
For sure. And if you were a backer of the 7, I would give that one another opportunity next time out because the 7 was bothered by the motion of what the 3 was going to do. Drift in, drift out, kick back. So there was a lot of decisions to be made, and just Chapina's Pasida just did not fire here tonight. So an upset to begin the pick 6, 26.60 the win price here for the 4, Elegant Sway, Angie Aquino, owner trainer, Damian Diaz-Cruz with 2 wins on the night through the first 3 races. We'll come back and talk about the payoff leg of the early pick 4. It is 10 minutes away.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have gateworks to show you for race 4. A couple of gate drills for the 4th race, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2, MG London Night, worked from the inside on July 4. She moved her head before the gate opened, but settled and was looking straight ahead right before the starter pushed the button. She came away cleanly on a straight path, but then did get a little crowded by Golden One. MG London Night handled it nicely and pulled away from the competition to win the drill comfortably in 12.7 seconds. This will be her 2nd career start, following a debut 7th on May 9. Number 5, Scary Sherry, went solo on July 18. She left cleanly and on a straight path while travelling under a hand ride. Scary Sherry moved away from the rail after the 16th pole, floating outwards slightly, but maintaining her rhythm to the wire in an improved 12.4 clocking after finishing 7th in her July 5 debut. And now the runners are moving on to the track and parading for race 4 at 350 yards for 2-year-old maiden fillies. The first quarter horse race on the program. Number 1 is Just Like Beth, owned by Gamaliel Garza Garcia, trained by Juan Alaman, ridden by Martin Arriaga. Number 2, MG London Night, is owned by M&G Farms, trained by Valentin Zamudio, ridden by Damian Cruz. Zamudio also trains number 3, Boisterous, for Jesus Cuevas. The rider is Ruben Lozano. 4, Romoland, is owned by Manuel Chavez and Jose Santos, trained by Paul Jones, ridden by Eduardo Nicasio. 5, Scary Sherry, is owned by Teresa and Edward D. Nike, prepared by Scott Willoughby and ridden by Gabriel Lara. Number 6, Attack, is raced by Edelred, trained by Jimmy Glenn Jr. The rider is Cesar Ortega. And number 7, Check Berry Delight, just moving out now beneath Henry Lopez. Felix Gonzalez trains this filly for Salvador Pimienta. 350 yards for the 2-year-old fillies in the first half of the $1 mid-card double.
Welcome back here to the desk at Los Alamitos Racecourse. Jose Contreras alongside Ulysses Gomez. You know what a long shot winner does in the first leg of a pick 6? It means an elevated pool for a new rolling pick 3 and an elevated pool for the late pick 4, because the tickets that play the pick 6 are no longer quote unquote alive and just going to play out the 6 ticket. They're going to get involved into the pick 3 and the late pick 4.
And a rolling double. Race number 4, I believe, offers
the mid-card double.
A rolling double. It's the mid-card double closeout leg of the early pick 4. That pick 4 pool was 141, over $141,000. And then that upset is not just in the pick 6.
No.
It's also in the pick 4. As I'm going to pull up here, the payouts, lowest will pay in this pick 4.
Is it Attack? No, it's the 4, right? It's got to be
183 to Romoland.
183, okay. Did you expect lower or higher?
I thought it would be a little more, but you did have
2 favorites win the first 2 legs.
2 betting favorites to win the first 2 legs in a 12-1 shot. And that's to Romoland. I mean, it does jump up 203 to the 6 Attack. Then it jumps up tremendously, actually. 460 to the 3 Boisterous.
So there it is. That tells us that this race truly got treated like a 2-horse race, at least in the pick 4.
And if any of these runners get beat, that just goes to show you how that pick 6 sequence is going to play.
Yeah.
So if the 4 or the 6 get beat here, there's going to be some separation, as you see in the pick 4, as well as in the pick 3 pools, Jose. This is surprising to me. In the pick 3 pools, Attack is actually favored. Races 2, 3, and 4, the pick 3 pool ending here. Attack is actually favored over Romoland, but not in the pick 4.
Interesting.
It's only by a couple bucks, but
still.
the pick 3 pays 75 to the 6, while it pays 78 to the 4, and the big jump, 218 now to the 3 Boisterous. So almost 3 times as much.
That is, I mean, it's not much, but it's interesting. Kind of tells us something, right? I think the case in point is, if the 4 or 6 get beat here, there's some tremendous separation going to be happening. Tremendous.
There's going to be a lot of separation in that pick 6 sequence. And just the pick 4 plays that we saw, you were singling Romoland. George was singling Attack. I think it seems like that leg where if you don't single, you're only going to go too deep in the pick 6.
Chris likes 4-6-3. He's thinking the 3 Boisterous could be the one to improve and maybe provide an upset if the 4 or the 6 make a mistake. If it's not the 4 and the 6, to me, it's likely Check Berry Delight on the outside. This one had worked very well at the beginning of the year before she ever made her debut. She finished third last time out. But I think 4 or 6 really have to make mistakes to get beat here.
Fellas, let me jump in here with a quick comment about Romoland number 4, particularly the angle with Eduardo Nicasio riding her for the second time, because I remember after contentious one last Sunday's Governor's Cup Futurity, Paul Jones was interviewed by Orlando Gutierrez, and Jones made a specific mention of how Nicasio was riding contentious for the second time and learned something from his first mount on the filly. And as coincidence would have it, Romoland is owned by the same connections. Contentious and Romoland both transferred over to Paul Jones. This is the third start for Jones for Romoland, but the second time ridden by Eduardo Nicasio. The horse did lug out and bump early per George Duarte's program notes. So it just might follow that Eduardo has learned something, as Paul Jones put it last week, with contentious, and maybe lightning can strike twice in a week with that angle. Second time Nicasio. One other thing I'll just throw at you, Scary Sherry number 5 put in a much improved gate work subsequent to the debut when breaking from the rail and doing plenty wrong. It was an improved work compared to the couple that led into the debut. And it's a pretty quick turnaround by Willoughby from the July 5 debut into the July 18 improved gate work. Admittedly, it was a solo drill, but she did look improved and a bit more professional. So he might see a better effort from number 5, Scary Sherry, who did take early money. The odds have drifted up now to 6-1. Back to you as they approach the gate. The field is moving into line. Flipping halters for the inside and outside fillies, just like Beth and Checkberry Delight. First time flipping halter for each of them. And they are followed forward by MG London Knight, who's about to enter gate 2. The riders are off the 1 and the 7 in the gate. The 4 has moved in, Romoland, and Romoland's riderless in the gate. Perhaps there's something going on behind the gate I cannot see. They've backed Romoland out, so something is awry, but nothing that has caught my eye. So say, in Ulysses, have you spotted anything that might be causing this delay? They're backing everything out of line by the look of it. Now, there's a horse being unsaddled behind the gate. I think it was number 4, but let's just stand by. Nothing from the stewards. Well, the television monitor is showing number 4 Romoland as a late scratch. I thought it was the 4 that was being unsaddled. Still nothing from the stewards. but number 4 has vanished from the tote board, and this is an incredibly important late scratch of the favourite in race 4, Romo Land number 4. Oh, here are the stewards. Right, thanks, mate. So Romo Land number 4 is scratched from race number 4. So they are moving in again. The loading process is underway once more, with Just Like Beth and Check Berry Delight numbers 1 and 7, the first 2 to be positioned. First time flipping halters for each. MG London Knight coming forward to gate 2. Scary Sherry approaching post position 5. Number 6, Attack, is the new favourite at even money. Looks like Attack will be the post-time favourite. Currently a full wagering point ahead of number 7, Checkberry Delight, as the last couple line up. Boisterous to gate 3, and Attack's going to be the last in. Late scratch of number 4, Romo Land. Still even money for Attack. Ready. Racing. Checkberry Delight wandering a couple of paths wide. Just Like Beth came out nicely from the inside. Attack's off the pace. Boisterous running a very strong race, and Scary Sherry comes between them late. Scary Sherry finishing best, comes at Boisterous. It's very close. Boisterous or Scary Sherry. Extremely tight. Just Like Beth is prominent for third, with Checkberry Delight Attack out wider on the track, and then MG London Knight. Photo finish. Late scratch of the favourite Romo Land number 4, confirming number 6 Attack ended up the post-time favourite, but was always off the pace and struggled to come into it. The 1 and 7, both first-time flipping halters, were very prominent through the first half of the contest, but then Boisterous, number 3, and Scary Sherry late on the scene, number 5, have finished the best, and the 2 of them have hit the line separated by inches, if that. The time 17.97 with a closing split of 9.76. 17.97. Five is first. Number 5, Scary Sherry, has defeated number 3, Boisterous, with 1, Just Like Beth, third, and 7, Checkberry Delight, fourth. The result is official. Placings officially 5-3-1-7. Scary Sherry is a bay filly by favourite Cartel from the Speightstown mare, Speight's Girl. So some thoroughbred influence on the dam side as Scary Sherry finished best, stepping up to 350 yards for career start number 2. Bred in Washington and owned by Teresa and Edward de Nike, trained by Scott Willoughby and ridden by Gabriel Lara. The $1 pick 3 pays $269.20. There is a consolation pick 3 of $26.60 with the late scratch of number 4 Romoland. And the $1 early pick 4 pays $1,079.50. To the late pick 4, opening with race 5 at 9:06. Scratch number 6, Outlaw In-Law. Looking deeper into the sequence, race 6 put the pen through number 2, Indecision. And in the 7th, scratch number 6, Up to Forgive. No jockey changes across the balance of the program.
You want a little bit of drama? How about a lot of drama? We had a gate scratcher, Romoland, who was a favorite at the gate. If you did not have an alternate selection in the pick 6, guess what? Those tickets ended up landing in the post-time betting favorite, Attack, and Attack does not hit the top 2. So, another significant upset in the pick 6.
I agree with you, and we're going to take a look at Scary Sherry, because when you see the overhead shot, had to be at least a length off of the leader. What a big run, Scary Sherry's second time out.
Yeah, Checkberry Delight got the best of the break there from the outside post. And with that good gate speed here, it looked like the 7 had every opportunity to put him away. The 6 hesitated. That's Attack, the post-time betting favorite. And Scary Sherry, the 5, found herself in a little bit of an intimidating position, but she surged there nicely there to get the win.
What a nice victory, surge indeed. And we speak of this, 350 yards, you get finishes like this. At 300 yards, Scary Sherry was done.
Oh, for sure.
350 yards, she finds her best stride late and gets the victory. Look at this head-on shot. It's a bit tighter than what you think, because the 3, the gray horse, Boisterous, is going to come out slightly. The 6, Attack, going to make it a little bit tight. Scary Sherry going to run on through there. Big effort, second time out to get the victory.
And I know the 3 was in the mix, Boisterous, and had the lead there. And the 3 might have been not that much of an upset. This is a serious separator in the pick 6. Serious. Because if you didn't have the 6 in your ticket, you got to be a scratch because of the 4. The 7 was the other likely horse because of the outside post and the gate speed. And then Boisterous was the slight third choice at 4-1. Scary Sherry has to be playing every bit of an upset in the sequence.
She had to be every bit of a length and a half off of Checkberry Delight. Runs them down. Big upset. We had a $26 winner to start off the pick 6 sequence, and now we're going to get a $15 winner that's going to play higher in the sequence. Look at this overhead shot once again. Checkberry Delight is at least a length and a half in front. This is a big run by Scary Sherry, a big effort, especially because it's only her second career start.
Yeah, and this is going to be a nice surge, nice improvement here. Congrats to the owners and breeders, Edward and Teresa de Nike. They had campaigned the Mama Spice Girl. She was a runner And now this one in his second career start improves nicely and gets the win and pays 15-20 to create some serious separation in the pick six. By the way, the new money in the pick six over 204,000. That brings the total pool over 262,000 in the pick six.
If you're alive and you got through these first two legs, good luck to you the rest of the way. It's late pick four time. 12 minutes to race number 5.
It's going to be a good one. Stay with us. We'll take a break. 12 minutes to race number 5. We'll be talking about the late pick 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have gateworks to show you for the 5th race. Number 1, Rose Bowl, on June 13, worked from the outside post in 12.6 seconds. She hopped away from the gate, trailed early, and was flagged right-handed, and then livened up from the 16th pole onwards, flying to the wire, ahead of Way Shining, and continuing with a strong gallop out. Rose Bowl, beautifully bred by favourite Cartel from Remember Me Rose, was scratched from a similar event back on July 19. Number 2, CD El Rey Favorito, on July 18, worked in between horses, going in 12.5 seconds. He was off balance leaving the gate, then drifted inwards before levelling out after the gap. He was under a hand ride from there and finished solidly alongside Love to Flirt, while trailing Big Kicks Cartel by a length. CD El Rey Favorito maintained a nice tempo during his gallop out. He returns to action, looking to improve on a pair of out-of-the-money efforts. Number 7, Machine Gone, on July 8, worked from the inside post in 12.5. He was a little fractious in the gate and swung his head upwards, leaving there. He still came away with the lead, extending his advantage over Dashing Target while veering inwards in the process. He ran with his head to the side at one point of this drill before looking more comfortable nearing the wire. The 5th race post-parade is led by number 1 Rose Bowl, owned by Steve Burns, trained by Mike Castleman, ridden by Justine Kleber. Number 2 CD El Rey Favorito is owned by CD Horses Incorporated. Jaime Gomez trains, Damian Cruz rides. Number 3 Val Camel is raced by Jose Luis Valdez, trained by Ramiro Zuazo, ridden by Salvador Vargas. 4, Eclipses, owned by Miguel Osorio, is trained by Jose Flores, ridden by Jose Alcala. Number 5, Lightning Capo, is owned by Carlos Marin, trained by Felix Gonzalez, ridden by Erasmo Gasca. Scratch number 6, Outlaw In-Law, so the second Gonzalez trainee will break from alongside his stablemate. Machine Gone number 7 races for Salvador Flores. Henry Lopez has the mount. Number 8, LA Raven, is owned by E.G. High Desert Farms, prepared by Jesus Nunez and ridden by Jesus Ayala. And number 9, Bipolar, is owned and trained by Valentin Zamudio, partnered by Ruben Lozano. 300 yards for this quarter horse maiden for 2-year-olds, opening the $1 late pick 4.
Welcome back here to the Esca Los Alamitos. Thumbs up here for everybody that might be still alive to the pick 6. What a way to be alive with a couple of prices. Race number 5, start of the late pick 4. It's going to be a good pick 4 pool. Has to be.
It has to be because we got a couple of upsets to start the pick 6 sequence. And if you're alive, roll it over. Same ticket in the late pick 4. And if you're not, get into the late pick 4, get your money back.
Did you peek at the pick 3 Lopez ending here?
I did, and surprisingly, the lowest payout is going to be to a horse that's 10-1 on the board, the 7, Machine Gone. That is the lowest payout, and it comes over $600 to the 7, Machine Gone.
But we can't ignore that LA Raven is a clear current favorite at 6-5. The 8 has to be the key horse in pick 6 tickets being alive yet, right? It has to be.
It has to be. That 4th place finish missing by a neck made up a half length on the leaders as they didn't get out of the gate in good order, was a step slow. Gonna have to go 300 yards once again. Gets a new rider. 4th career start, 4th different rider for LA Raven. Jesus Ayala in the irons today.
Yeah, our pick 4 ticket cycling there to the screen. George's tickets, Chris's ticket. He's singling. He's all in on LA Raven. I'm going to use a couple of the first-time starters, including the one that's favored in the pick 3, the 7, Machine Gone. I thought the 1250 workout was useful. Just like the 1 Rose Bowl, the 1260 workout was useful. So 178 for me. It's going to be the 3 runners that I use. I'll go 135 in race number 6. That's also a mix of experienced runners and a first-time starter. And Lucase, I'm not in love with the rail draw, but I think the workout was good. Pedigree's there. And then, of course, we got the experience of Unusual and Celtic Cowboy. Race number 7, that maiden field. I'm going to go 4 deep there, Ulysses. I'm not sold. We've been chasing Hassan PP, but I like Cool Be Hot off the layoff. Good workout. Joins the barn of James Glenn. First-time Lasix. A lot of things happening in that race number 7, so I just opted for coverage. And then, we talked about earlier tonight, if there's a horse I would like to take a stand in the second half of the card, it will likely be with Bold and Beautiful. I feel like it's a 2-horse race with Scoops Dynasty, but if I can get an effort out of Bold and Beautiful, what she fired last time out in the Abigail Kawana Nakoa, I would take my chances in the finale.
I agree with you. You see those pick 4 tickets cycling through. Chris Wade takes a stand here in the opening leg of the late pick 4 with the 8 LA Raven. George Jardy going to take a stand with Celtic Cowboy in race number 6. You would take a stand in the 8th race. It's as simple as that. Just hit the all button in race number 7 with all 3 of your singles.
Or better yet, give us a single in race number 7, and that way you can play a straight all $1 pick 4 ticket and place repeat.
Listen,
Is it Kobe Hot?
I want to go to Could Be Hot, but I'm not going to lie to you. I've been on Hassan PP the last 4 starts, and I would hate to get beaten now. I'm not jumping off just yet. And what Justine Kleber and Mike Castleman did last week on Breeders' Champion Night on Sunday night.
I mean, they were just stealing races out of the gate.
This seems like Ming Dynasty can probably do the same with Justine Kleber aboard. So if you're going to do that at that point, you're taking 4 of the 6 runners. You might as well jump in and hit the all button.
So the three singles and then
three
the all
singles,
button.
and there you go. I gave you my pick in this in the 7th race. No reason for you guys not to take the all button in race number 7.
I'm interested in how this betting ends up shaping out here, because we've all felt like LA Raven was going to be favored. Now, was LA Raven going to be odds-on betting favorite? Probably not. The scratch of the 6 probably did a little bit of changing as far as the wagering money, but wasn't going to be a horse that was going to be overly bet. But who would be the second choice in your opinion to the 8? Like, who's the main threat to the 8?
I like Eclipses. I thought both of those works were solid of 12-4. What surprises me the most is the pick 3 payouts. The lowest payout
Is to the 7.
to the 7 of
and
631.
actually, and then the next lowest is to the 4.
Eclipses.
The 8 is not even the second favorite in the doubles. In the
Two
pick 3s, excuse me.
first-time starters are the lowest payouts in the pick 3. That surprises me, especially because the win money isn't coming in on those 2 runners. You're getting 10-1 currently on Eclipses off the 4-1 morning line, and Machine Gun the 7-6-1 morning line currently 9-1. Those are the lowest payouts in the pick 3. The first 3 legs of the pick 6. That shocks me.
What do you think we should respect more as far as if we want to kind of predict what's happening in the pick 6? Should we trust more the double wheel pace or the pick 3 wheel pace? Because the pick 3 wheel pace are very confusing compared to what we expect in the pick 6, right? There's no way.
I would still trust the pick 3 will pays more, because a lot of that double money is people that got eliminated right away in the first leg of the pick 6.
That is true. That's a good flip side to look at it.
So a lot of people that got bounced out in that opening leg of the pick 6, they said, well, do we wait for the late pick 4 or just jump in on that mid-card double? I think a lot of that is mid-card double money from eliminated tickets in the pick 6. How many tickets are alive?
That was my next. What do you think?
3/4 are dead,
Yes.
at least.
Oh, yes.
80%, 90% gone.
I think we're talking in the single digits of how many tickets might be alive.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Right?
That's why it's so confusing to me how many horses are going to be covered in this.
Correct. Like, I don't know how to gauge.
I think
What
there's plenty
horses-
of coverage here.
Hypothetically, let's say 10 tickets are still alive. How many of those 10 go through the 8 here? All 10?
Yes. All 10.
How many might have the 7 or the 4? 3 of them?
Say half of those. Because with such a big pool, Jose, you got the big tickets. Those have coverage, especially coming into the final leg where you look like we just take a stand here. So I'm gonna say they have coverage.
It is what turned out to be a wide open first leg of the pick 6 turned into a complicated pick 6 immediately in race number 4. It's not out of the realm that this thing could carry over again.
No, it's not far-fetched at all. I mean, we're 2 legs into it. We're already talking about a handful of tickets being alive.
Yeah.
So it's not far-fetched at all. And the way you go through the card, like to start this late pick 4, even looking at George's pick 4 ticket, he went 4 deep in this field of 8 runners with the scratch of the 6. So he took half the field. And you move on through. Race number 6 doesn't get easier. That's another maiden event for 2-year-olds. That doesn't get easier. Race number 7, a maiden event for older horses. Field of 6 with 1 scratch. We just spoke of that. You can go in any direction. The easiest leg to this pick 6 sequence was always going to be the final leg.
Oh, for sure.
And then you started it with bombs early.
Yeah.
It's tough to navigate. If you're alive through 2 legs, kudos to you, and I hope you're deep here in this 5th race.
Yeah, because I think you need it in a couple of these legs. So, approaching the gate here for race number 5. Late pick 4 about to cross the 6-figure mark. There it is, 97 plus. By the way, new money in the pick 6 was over 200. So add to 57, getting to this 260 plus.
260 plus in that pick 6.
Early pick 4 was
141.
solid. Yeah, 141.
You're going to get over 6 figures here as the horses are walking to the gate. Big pools. And you got rewarded in the early pick 4 as well.
Yeah,
that was a comma.
Well, comma over $1,000.
Over $1,000 that early pick 4 as well.
My top pick here is the first time starter Machine Gun. I will take 8-1 on a win bet.
Any day of the week.
Yes.
My top pick landed on LA Raven, 6-5, too short to take. Keep an eye on the 10-1 Eclipses. The 2 works were solid on June 27th and July 11th. Jose Flores has been doing well with these 2-year-olds all year. Him and Jose Alcala connected to win the kindergarten futurity,
yeah.
the first 2-year-old stake here at Los Alamitos.
With Call Me Candela. By the way, was he also sired by Call Me Cole? Because this one is sired by Call Me Cole. Call Me Candela? I would assume so, right?
I believe so.
They're at the gate. Pick for a pool over $101,000. Let's go out to Michael Runner for the load and the call.
Thanks, Jose and Ulysses. Pick 4 pool, crossing the $100,000 threshold as Val Camel comes up first to gate 3 as the only runner using a flipping halter. Rose Bowl entering gate 1. A couple of weeks after the intended debut. Rose Bowl also drew gate 1 when scratched from what was to be her first assignment. Pick 4 pool climbing towards 120,000. Lightning Carpo is in the gate. With Machine Gone. CDL Ray Favorito about to come up to gate 2. LA Raven heading the wagering at 7-5. Rider of Machine Gone's been out of the saddle in post position 7. Eclipses is about to be positioned. Bipolar will complete the line. Lopez getting back on Machine Gone. Rose Bowl backed out of gate 1 briefly, is back in there now. Still 7-5, LA Raven, rock solid atop the market. 7-2 for number 5, Lightning Carpo. One of 2 first-time geldings, the other being Bipolar, who completes the line, and they're about to break. Racing! LA Raven drifting inwards a little bit. It's Eclipses, one of the first to show with Val Camel. Lightning Carpo, and LA Raven finds his best stride down the outside. LA Raven charging clear, wins it nicely over Val Camel and Eclipses. And Bipolar out widest, might be 4th. LA Raven, not the best served at the break, but building momentum strongly past the midway point. Was off balance while lugging in early. But Ayala got him straightened out. Fourth different jockey in 4 career starts, and Ayala got the best out of LA Raven in the closing stages to beat number 3 Val Camel and number 4 Eclipses. It's a photo for 4th. The time 15.81. 15.81 seconds. Closing split 9.90. Fourth goes to number 9, Bipolar. Number 9 has finished 4th. The result is official. Placings officially 8349. LA Raven was Christopher Wade's selection on our weekly webcast preview show. And he comes back to the winner's circle beneath Jesus Ayala. Trained by Jesus Nunez for owner breeder E.G. High Desert Farms. LA Raven a sorrel gelding by Favorite Cartel from the Corona Cartel dam, Jess Raven. There is a consolation $1 pick 3 payout of $46.70 with the late scratch of Romo Land number 4 in race 4. The winning pick 3 combo 458 good for $1,263.80. More than $1,200 for the $1 pick 3. The upcoming 6th race opens the final pick 3 on the program. Post time is 9:33. Scratch number 2, indecision.
Well, it wasn't the cleanest of breaks or trips, but Jesus Ayala got LA Raven to level out and prove why he was much the best.
3 legs into this pick 6 sequence, and we get a favorite to win in that pick 3. Over $1,200, Jose, with the 6-5 favorite closing it out, and those are the first 3 legs of the pick 6.
Yes, first 3 legs of the pick 6, very tricky. Despite this favorite winning, you saw that comma payout here. Let's take a look at the maiden, the 300-yard maiden event here. LA Raven was playing like the favorite, right? And the concern was, let's see how much of a clean break you can get there from gate number 8. There was some hesitation out of the gate. The 7 hopped as well. There was a bumping there, but you can see difficult to ride in the first 100 yards or so.
But look at Jesus Ayala. He doesn't panic. He straightens out LA Raven and finds his best stride late here to run down a big effort by Val Camel. Once again, Val Camel breaks well, just can't hold on to the lead, finishes second. But you're going to get another look at this. LA Raven, watch this horse trying to get inward. Look at Jesus Ayala. Correct, keep a straight path. And once this horse levels off, now it's a horse race. Jesus Ayala is going to get the best out of LA Raven late. And look at him get down in that saddle, make himself as aerodynamic as possible, and get to the other end.
You know what I liked about that, looking at that head-on once again? That he did not overextend himself. He did not panic. He did not go to overly difficult moves. He just was worried about keeping this one in as much rhythm as possible while trying to level out. Because if he knew if he can get this one to go straight, then the top speed will be there.
And that's the hardest thing to do. Keep that forward momentum while correcting a horse to keep a straight path. And you see, once this horse levels off, now it's just a get to the other end because you know that you have the best horse in the race. Just keep the straight path. Watch this. Once again, breaks inward. Even on the overhead shot, you can see Jesus Ayala pulling that right rein, correcting LA Raven. Once LA Raven gives in and levels off, go ahead and find your best stride and get the victory.
First time up, Jesus Ayala in a maiden no more in career start number 4. Homebred for E.G. High Desert Farms by Favorite Cartel out of Jess Raven. Beautifully bred. The mama was a pretty good runner, and she has produced some winning siblings already. So good pedigree on this gelding, and improves and gets the maiden diploma under Jesus Ayala.
I love that low angle shot. You see Jesus Ayala not only pulling the right rein, but using the left rein, keeping it taut to make sure that this horse is also moving on over, move that shoulder over as you're pulling that nose over. What a nice ride. Not easy to do. Jesus Ayala just simplified it there, made it look fairly easy on a difficult ride to get the victory.
Nice ride, nice win in race number 5. First favorite in the pick 6 sequence winning race number 5. We're 13 minutes away to race number 6. That will begin a new rolling pick 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple of gateworks to show you for the 6th race. Number 1, Lucasy, on June 13, worked from the inside post with an empty stall to his outside. He was a little antsy in the gate before taking a short step away from there. He led early under a comfortable ride and continued under a fast tempo the rest of the way to win the drill by daylight in 12.3 seconds, finishing ahead of Dulce Glorietta on the outside and Political Comment, who worked in between horses. Lucasy maintained a good rhythm through his gallop out. Number 5, Celtic Cowboy, on July 15, used a flipping halter in this solo drill and was off fast, but needed several strides to settle into a rhythm. Even then, he began to shift inwards, turning his head to the side while drifting closer to the rail. He continued with a quick stride before his rider had to grab a hold of him as he inched even closer to the rail. Celtic Cowboy clocked 12.2 seconds. He has finished third in each of his career starts, including in a trial to eventual Grade 1 Ed Burke runner-up, Faultless. Out they come for race number 6, a 350-yard 2-year-old maiden, opening the final $1 pick 3 on the program. 8 minutes to post. Lucasy, number 1, leads this post parade beneath Jesus Ayala. Diego Cervantes trains. Jose Mendoza Aguilar pays the bills. Scratch number 2, Indecision. Number 3, Unusual, is owned by Ed Allred, trained by Jimmy Glenn Jr. and ridden by Oscar Peinado. 4, Golden Warfighter, is trained by Scott Willoughby for Jeffrey Rath. The rider is Gabriel Lara. 5, Celtic Cowboy, races for S. Corta K LLC, Robin Gordon and Lane Sprouse. Jose Flores is the conditioner, Irving Lara the pilot. 6, Yay or Nay, is owned by Mauricio and Miguel Gallegos, trained by Valentin Zamudio, ridden by Ruben Lozano. 7, Mr. Shelby is the property of Clanfield Act Stables. Felix Gonzalez applies the polish. Damian Cruz is entrusted with the mount.
Welcome back here to the desk at Los Alamitos. Race number 6 is just 6 minutes away. Final pick 3 opportunity of the program. Scratch the 2, leaving us with a field of 6. And right now the money spread out between the runners in between. Ulysses here. We got Unusual, Golden Warfire, and Celtic Cowboy, all taking about even amount of money up to right now.
They're all within about a point of each other. And this is where I thought you might get 3 noses on the wire with the middle of the pack here. I like Unusual, 2-1. Currently my top selection, but Golden Warfighter getting the stride out to 350 yards, and the work by Celtic Cowboy looked good, 12:20 on July 15th. So I think you can get 3 noses on the wire. Advantage to Celtic Cowboy though, because he's drawn outside of the other 2.
And that's why I took out the 4 from that trio, and added the 1 instead of the 4, because I didn't like the post of the 4 between Unusual and Celtic Cowboy. So I would give the edge to those 2. And then a little bit of an interesting look at Lucas A, just because of the pedigree and the workout. You get Hesayala to ride for Diego Cervantes. So I would rank this race as 3-5-1 in that order. But I got to tell you, after watching the workout again by Celtic Cowboy, I was impressed.
It was an impressive drill. Lucas A, a $75,000 Heritage Place yearling sale purchase, did have 1 work in the spring. Given the time off, 2 drills coming into this, 1 in June and July, both of those here. The June drill was solid, 12:30 out of the gate, and then a turn in work on July 10th just for maintenance, but does have to contend with the rail draw on the debut. I think that's the big question mark. Jesus Ayala just won race number 5. He's trying to get back-to-back victories.
You know, I'm a fan of when siblings win on debut. Well, 2 of the 3 siblings in Lucas A were debut winners. 2 of 3. So
that's something to look at. When the siblings are winning on debut, I think it's only right that Lucas A is going to put up a big effort here, and you're getting 7-1 on this rail runner.
George likes 5-3-4 in that order, so he's leaning towards Celtic Cowboy, which, by the way, is wearing the Flippy Haunter. He's worn it in the first 2 starts, so he's going to continue with the Flippy Haunter. Unusual, I thought, was obviously the pedigree's there with Favorite Cartel and Quirky. Almost won on debut. And in the last 2 starts in those trials, he took money in the first one, but in the last one, he was 14-1. He wasn't really expected to do as much, but he only missed by half a length.
And he had trouble. He was bumped at the start in that trial. I think this horse has had trouble in all 3 outs, trying to figure it out. Going to be drawn 1 from the rail with the scratch of the 2 in decision. So now you're going to be drawn next to the first-time starter. But I think it only helps that these runners are drawn side by side. I think they can get in their own little race here between horses.
Is it safe to assume that up to this point, the best breaker in the field could be Unusual?
I would say yes, because this horse broke in front on debut. So I would say yes. But then you look at a horse like Golden Warfighter, who has been getting better out of the gate in all 3 efforts. And Celtic Cowboy, 2 solid efforts, decent out of the gate. But watching that workout, that morning drill, this horse got out in good order. I think this horse is maturing and going to continue wearing the flipping halter. I think that helps this horse follow them doors out of the gate.
And he's the one that has the most time offs of the field. He hasn't been seen since May 31st. Everybody else raced at least in June, late June, July.
Celtic Cowboy hasn't been seen since the trials to the Edberg Memorial Futurity, when finishing third, was a 3/4 of a length off of Rational and Faultless. Faultless ended up missing the finale by a nostril, taking down that $1 million purse. So this horse has been running against good competition. Actually, the first 2 efforts of the career were against Faultless. So this horse has been facing good competition. I think the layoff can only help a horse of this caliber mature a little bit, because we saw it in the morning drill. This horse looked good, got out of the gate in good order, and got to the other end.
Doesn't this leg look like one of the pick 6 legs where it feels like all the logicals would be covered? Like, whether the 3, 4, or 5, or maybe even the 1 wins, I don't feel like it would make much difference. Right?
I think the 4 rail runners are covered. I think to surprise somebody, you'd really have to get a yay or nay, the 6 to get up, or the 7, Mr. Shelby. But with that said, I still believe that even a horse like Mr. Shelby is covered just because of the outside draw.
True. Like, we feel like whenever there's an outside horse, it's a quarter horse race. Sometimes just gets used because of the outside draw, and that's it.
Especially in big carryover pools like tonight, where you have the big tickets, where you just say, you know what, I like these runners, throw in the outside horse just because you're going to get clear sailing.
Would you take 2-1 an unusual?
Yes, that was the morning line. If it sticks around the morning line, yeah.
Yeah, I would take it.
And if you like Celtic Cowboy, I mean, you're right around that morning line as well. So any of those 2 runners, I think you're happy with what the betting board looks like now.
They're only separating, the middle 3 are only separated by about a couple $100 to $800, depending on who you look at. So let's see who was on favorite here. Final pick 3 opportunity of the night. Let's go out to Mike Corona.
Okay, fellas, I'm going to make a late switch in my pronunciation of this first-time starter number 1. I was just doing a little bit of late research and have come to realize that the horse is likely named for a professional bull rider, Lucchese Morris. The sire Flying Cowboy 1, 2, 3. So I'm now guessing that Lucchese is the way we should be going with this rail horse, stepping out for the first time under race conditions. Loading process underway. Flipping halter for the 5 Celtic Cowboy. He got organised first. Lucchese has moved in with Unusual. And Golden Warfighter is ready. Here comes Yay or Nay. And Mr. Shelby will be the last in. 6-5, number 5 Celtic Cowboy. 2-1, number 3 Unusual. Ready. Racing. Mr. Shelby fast into stride with Unusual. Lucchese on the inside. Celtic Cowboy coming home well. It's Unusual taken on by Celtic Cowboy. Wider out Mr. Shelby. Celtic Cowboy storming to the lead, careering away. Celtic Cowboy demolishes them. Mr. Shelby second. Tight for third between Unusual and Lucchese. That was a nice piece of work. What's that come home time? 9.61. Very nice effort indeed. 9.61 closing split for a 2-year-old maiden. Number 5 Celtic Cowboy is the unofficial winner, beating 7 Mr. Shelby, and it's a photo for third. The time, 17.95 seconds. 17.95. Closing split, 9.61. 3 is third, Unusual. 1 was fourth, Lucchese. 5731 is the unofficial result on race 6. The result is official. Placings officially 5731. So we now have 2 winning favourites in a row in the middle 2 legs of the pick 6. Celtic Cowboy by Flying Cowboy 123 is from the PYC Paint Your Wagon Dam, DF I Ain't Joe Wagon. Celtic Cowboy is a bay gelding bred in Arizona by J. Lazy 6 Ranch. The ownership group comprises S. Corta K LLC, Robin Gordon and Lane Sprouse. Jose Flores is the winning trainer. Irving Lara is the winning jockey. That $1 pick 3 has paid $54.40. On to the 7th, opening the $1 late double. Post time is 9:55. Scratch number 6 up to forgive. And fellas, as you prepare to recap race 6 for us, I'm looking at the form line from Celtic Cowboys' previous race in a trial to the Ed Burke Million, when third behind Faultless, who came out, of course, and ran such a great race in the final, and splitting them was Rational. It just makes me cast my mind back to last Saturday night, and you'd wonder how, watching Faultless in the Ed Burke final, and this horse tonight, Celtic Cowboy, you'd wonder how, with a clean, perfect trip from the outside post last week, how Rational failed to get the job done at 1-9 when edged out by the 18-1 shot Like to Shine. That's a real head scratcher, is Rational.
It really is a little bit of a head scratcher because that's why we're in this predicament of a carryover in the Big Six, right?
Sure is. Yeah, it is a bit of a head scratcher, but these are racehorses. These are young racehorses, so you're not going to get that best effort. Sometimes they just bounce, so to say, after producing such a big effort. They'll bounce that next time out. We'll see Rational come back another day, just like we saw Celtic Cowboy today off of the layoff perform so greatly.
How nice this win was by Celtic Cowboy. And you can tell he found his best rhythm once they got to that 300-yard mark, that 220. He really leveled out beautifully there in the second half of this race.
And that's why that 350 yards is key, especially for a horse like this in Celtic Cowboy. You see the logos next to the horse's name. This horse is paid into future futurities. Going to have to get the 400 yards. 350 is a good setup. Not the best of starts here, as you see at the break, but watch this big level off like you spoke of. They're going to go past that black and white pole there. That's the 16th. That's 110 yards left to run. Look at this horse stride out with authority.
Beautiful. Avery Lara got this one to straighten out. Few uses of the crop there, right-handed, and really lengthened those strides there in the final 100 yards.
You see the head on there, took a bump on that hind end, was able to find his best stride late. Irving Lara does not panic in the saddle, a bit of encouragement, and once this horse levels off, it's just a matter of picking his head up, getting on to the other end.
Yeah, good rhythm, good late kick. Have been wearing the flipping halter, wore it again, and then improved to a maiden diploma on career start number 3. And based on this win, you got to think he's going to progress even better after this maiden diploma.
Sure is. This horse has taken a step forward in all 3 career starts now. A couple of third-place finishes to start your career. Now a victory here. You take a look at the overhead shot. Was heads up with the 3 unusual. And then when this horse finds his best stride, going to open up a length on him in the last 110 yards.
Congrats to the winning connections here at Quarter K. Robin Gordon, Lane Sprouse, Jose Flores, Avery Lara here. Celtic Cowboy improves nicely here in career start number 3 to get that maiden diploma. Avery Lara up aboard. So a betting favorite there, winning race number 6. We're 12 minutes away from race number 7. That'll be start of the late double. We'll come back and take a look at that field in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is a gate drill for the 7th race. Number 7, Could Be Hot, worked solo in this 220-yard drill, clocking 12.2 on July 15. He angled inwards leaving the gate before levelling shortly after. Could Be Hot displayed a beautiful motion from there and finished with plenty to spare, before continuing with a confident gallop out around the turn. Could Be Hot will make his seasonal debut at his first start for trainer Jimmy Glenn Jr., who trained the Dam, and as Baby Foose. And as Baby Foose was a winner and finished in the top 3 in 6 of her 14 career starts. The 7th race, Post Parade, is led by number 1 Tarzan Isa, owned by Rigoberto Lua, trained by Ricardo Guillen, ridden by Damian Cruz. Number 2, Hassan PP, races for Efren Viramontes, is trained by Rodolfo Viramontes, partnered by Henry Lopez. Number 3, Good Mischief, is the property of Gentry Farms. Juan Alaman trains him and Martin Arriaga rides him. 4 is Just Be Good for E.G. High Desert Farms. Jesus Nunez the trainer. Salvador Vargas has the riding assignment. 5 is Ming Dynasty, raced by Steve Burns, trained by Mike Castleman, ridden by Justine Kleber. Number 6, Up to Forgive, has been withdrawn. 7, Could Be Hot, is owned by Ed Allred and Tom Sibley, trained by Jimmy Glenn Jr., ridden by Oscar Peinado. This 350-yard quarter-horse maiden for 3-year-olds and up opens the $1 late double in 7 minutes.
Let me check. Oh, there's 2 races left. You know what time it is. Late daily double time, Ulysses. As we get ready here to look at this field for race number 7. Betting board was pretty evened out. We got 9-5, we got 5-2, we got 2-1. Is the post significant enough that Could Be Hot could go favorite despite the layoff?
I think so, especially because Hassan PP has already finished 4 consecutive second-place finishes. This horse just kind of seems to follow the pack. I think you would want to go elsewhere, and you get an outside draw for Could Be Hot. With that said, late daily double time, how deep would you go in this opening leg?
I'm going to use the ones that are the better prices of the 4 that I like, which are 2, 3, 5, and 7. I assume those are the ones that are most likely winners here outside of the 2 long shots. So I would use the 2 better prices. I would go 5-7. Ming Dynasty and Justine, and Could Be Hot off the layout with that sharp work. So I would go 5-7 here, and then single the 2 Bold and Beautiful in the finale. So 5-7 with 2 for the late double.
So you would get away from Hassan PP, so to say.
You know what? If this one wins at 8-5, so be it. I'll be happy for the horse. I've been chasing this one, but I'll be happy for the horse.
So 5-7 with the 2 in race number 8, which is Bold and Beautiful.
Yes.
So a 5-2 double for $1 comes back $17. So you're getting 16 to 1 currently. With the way the pool is currently, you're getting 16 to 1, $17, while a 7-2 comes back $9.
That's still not bad.
Not bad at all. The lowest double at the moment would be a 2-2 Hassan PP with Bold and Beautiful. That's coming back just $4.
What about a Scoops Dynasty? How about a 2-4 double?
That'll come back $8.
So right
So
now,
double.
Bold and Beautiful is
Significant favorite in these double pools.
At
yes.
least as of right now.
As of right now, yes.
Do you think that's playing the same way in pick 4s, pick 6s?
Yes. Yes, I do. Scoops Dynasty has the back class, but not the current form.
True.
What are you going to rely on, the back class or the current form? And I think more horse players are relying on the current form, and that's why they're jumping on the mare Bold and Beautiful, because that was a solid second place finish, missing by a nose. And look at the comment line. Surge late missed. That was at 350 yards. Now second half of a layoff, and you're going to get the 440. I think that's right up Bold and Beautiful's alley.
Is He's My Sweetheart the 5 in the finale taking any kind of play in the doubles?
Sure is. A 2-5 double comes back at $10. That's the 3rd lowest payout.
That's almost as close to Scoops.
The big upset would be Whiskey West in the
Yeah,
finale.
has to.
That's what's paying the most a 2-1 double. Hassan PP here to Whiskey West in the finale. That's coming back 51. You want to know what surprises me? A 7-1 double. That is Could Be Hot here to Whiskey West in the finale. That comes back 35.
Interesting.
So there is a combination of ways to look at it, especially with the way the pick six started with two big payouts. There is many scenarios here.
Is there still a way this pick six could carry, do you think?
I'm going to say yes,
It
but
has to go through the one here.
we need an upset here because I feel like all five of the horses in the finale will be covered.
Like the one or the four have to provide an upset here. Wouldn't you think?
Yes, and of those two runners, I know the odds on the one are twice as much as the four, Just Be Good, and Tarzan Isa only has one start. Do you rely more on what the betting public is showing you and rely more on Just Be Good, or Tarzan Isa to pull off an upset?
If you're comparing just 1 and 4, I think I would slide with the 4. Because there is that 1579 clock in 3 starts back, 1577 last time out. It's not far-fetched that this one could run that number and be a legit threat.
I agree with you, but Damian Diaz-Cruz has 2 wins on the card.
that
Let's
is
get
true.
him a hat trick.
Yeah,
I want to see a hat trick. Let's see if the rider with the momentum in his favor could get this big upset at 14-1 home.
Now, if I had to make a top pick, it could be hot. I like the workout. I like what he has shown last year. Yeah, it's just a lengthy layoff. But I don't mind this one firing off the layoff because there's a few things happening. You get the outside post, you get a sharp work, you get a first-time Lasix. To me, that's enough to think that this one could be ready to fire.
I agree with you. That's my top selection as well. But I look at the 3 Good Mischief as a horse being intriguing to me. Just missed by a neck last out. Was in that common event with Hassan PP when was a neck behind Hassan PP. Now this horse being drawn next to Hassan PP I think can only help. Martin Arriaga and Juan Aleman. I see Good Mischief running a big race here at 7-2.
Remember last weekend who was stealing races out of the gate? It was Justine. And she's got Ming Dynasty. Ming Dynasty went in 1564 last time out. That clocky might be good enough to win tonight.
And now, second time, Justine Kleber. She was aboard for the first time on Ming Dynasty last time out. This is a 3-year-old filly facing the boys. Justine Kleber going to have to get out of the gate in good order. And the horse makes a great appearance on the track, as you're going to see right now.
The price is too good to ignore. So there's my late double. 5-7 with 2. 5-7 with 2, my late double.
I like it. I don't think there'll be a carryover unless we get an upset here.
Yeah.
I think every horse in the finale will be covered, but there are going to be some juicy prices
Yes.
in that pick six.
There should be based on what's happened up to this point. There's 2 races left. You know what time it is. It is late daily double time, and Mike Corona has the call.
Okay, gentlemen, they're about to move in. Hassan PP will load first to gate 2, flipping halter for him as he tries to break an exasperating sequence of 4 runner-up finishes. This is the first time Henry Lopez has been on board. Stakes action continuing into tomorrow night's program with a field of 9 to contest the Cox Ranch California Regional Distaff Challenge. The last of 8 races tomorrow, 400 yards for the fillies and mares. Most of the field has assembled in the gate for the penultimate race on tonight's program. Could Be Hot has been heavily supported, is into 7-5 as he completes the line. They're ready to go. Just Be Good tossing the head about, racing. And it's Hassan PP and Good Mischief winning the start together from Just Be Good and Could Be Hot's down the outside. Hassan PP, Good Mischief, Could Be Hot's running on but too far back. Good Mischief and Hassan PP, and Good Mischief wins. Lucky start number 13 for Good Mischief. Meantime, Hassan PP is the groomsman again. Three first, Good Mischief. For the owner-trainer, with the stakes favourite in the finale, Bold and Beautiful. Gentry Farms, Juan Alaman, with Good Mischief, number 3, defeating 2, Hassan PP, who ended up 6-5. Hassan PP came into clear favouritism after number 7, Could Be Hot, had touched 7-5 just before the break, but went back out to 9-5. He's finished 3rd, so it's 3-2-7. And number 5, Ming Dynasty, was next best. The time 17.75. 17.75 seconds with a closing split of 9.65. The result is official. Placings officially 3-2-7-5. Good Mischief is by Into Mischief from the Trace Stam Heartbeat. This 3-year-old bay gelding was bred in Kentucky by the owner, Gentry Farms. And those Gentry Farms silks will be carried by Bold and Beautiful, the favourite in the upcoming Grade 2 feature. Juan Alaman is the winning trainer of Good Mischief, also prepares Bold and Beautiful. And Martin Arriaga had the winning mount on Good Mischief. $1 exacta, $10 and 10 cents, according to a screen I'm looking at on a different channel. I'm seeing a $1 exacta of $10.10 and $5.05, depending on what channel I'm looking at, both for a $1 unit, so something is amiss with that. The $1 trifecta, $32.10, and the 10-cent superfecta, $6.14. Anyway, post time for race 8 is 10:17. 10:17, and there are no changes to the field in the AQHA Racing Championship Challenge. Just one thing to note, fellas, as you prepare to recap the 7th, the come-home time of 9.65 for this maiden race for 3-year-olds and up is slightly slower than Celtic Cowboy posted in the 2-year-old maiden in the race previously, the 6th race. The the overall time for Celtic Cowboy was slower, but gee, that 9.61 final 220 for Celtic Cowboy stands out to me as noteworthy looking at the comparative times across the program tonight.
Yes, Michael, because we were talking about how visually impressive the come home of Celtic Cowboy was.
Sure was, and that's saying a lot. That is a 2-year-old that's going to be able to stride out as these trials get longer into the fall. So keep an eye on Celtic Cowboy. Does his best running late, and I'm sure Jose Flores is going to have him ready to leave the gate proper and figure it out of the gate. So keep an eye on Celtic Cowboy as we move forward into the fall.
And congrats to Gentry Farms here, Kirk here with his team, Robbie Force. They always have such a tremendous homebred operation. And this one, nicely bred, had taken him a while to get the maiden diploma, but he looked a lot more professional tonight here in race number 7.
And being drawn next to Hassan PP, who gets out of the gate in good order, was kind of like a target for Good Mischief to run him down late. Good Mischief is going to want to go further, as you see by the thoroughbred, into Mischief. So this horse is going to want as much ground as possible. Here's a replay. In the white silks, you're going to see Hassan PP get out of the good order. White helmet cover of Martin Arriaga. The blue blinkers of Juan Aleman are just breathing down his neck, chasing him down with every stride.
Yeah, and at this point, it turned into a 2-horse race here. The 7 was out too far wide, a little sluggish, and took a little while to get going. But Good Mischief really found that best rhythm. Came home with 9.65 to get the maiden diploma win, and the clocking and the visuals were solid.
Sure was. This horse does his best running late. Take a look at the head on there. Breaks well. Fair shot to all of them. And at this point, you have Hassan PP on the lead with Good Mischief chasing, has a target on him, gonna run him down late. What a nice effort. What a nice ride by Martin Arriaga. Has been aboard this horse plenty, knows Good Mischief, and knows that this horse does his best running late.
And you know what I appreciated about the head on there? They were fairly professional down the lane. Once they got into their gear in the first 100, 200 yards of that race, the rest of the trip was more about getting from point A to point B as straight as possible.
And take a look at this overhead shot as well. Hassan PP only has about a head on Good Mischief. So when you have a horse that likes to finish this close to the leader, it's hard to outrun Good Mischief late with that thoroughbred breeding in him and watch him run him down and get that neck in front.
If you like this horse at 5-2 in the morning line, you got a gift at 4-1, paying $10 even then there for the win. 3, 2, 7, and 5 official in race number 7 as Good Mischief gets that maiden diploma on career shot number 13. We got one more left to go. Coming up, race number 8 will be the running of the Grade 2 AQHA Racing Championship Challenge. 440 yards, purse of over 43,000. That's coming up in 12 minutes to post time.
The jockeys are mounting for the 8th and featured event, the Grade 2 AQHA Racing Championship Challenge at 440 yards. The winner earns a berth to the final, the national final in Albuquerque in October. Number 1 is Whiskey Wes, one of a trio trained by Valentin Zamudio. Whiskey Wes is owned by Andrea Canales and ridden by Ruben Lozano. Whiskey Wes, one of 2 sons of Panama Wes, shipping in from Arizona for this contest. Number 2 is Bold and Beautiful, the only mare in the field. Ran shaken going on to a nose last time out in the Grade 2 Abigail Kawananakoa, closing furiously at the end of 350 yards. She's owned by Gentry Farms and trained by Juan Alaman, who are shooting for the late double on the program. Eduardo Nicasio rides Bold and Beautiful. Invasive number 3 is trained by Zamudio for Equistex Consulting LLC. Escar Ramirez has the mount. Invasive was in fine form in stakes company in the spring of last year when last seen at Los Alamitos, losing the James Smith Stakes by a nose and then winning a stakes race. He's been campaigning out of state since. Scoops Dynasty number 4 brings a tremendous resume to the party. He was well in the market last time out against Lethal Cowboy in the vessel's maturity. Has a string of successes at high level at Los Alamitos across a long, distinguished career. He's owned by Edward McNeilis, trained by Diego Cervantes. Jesus Ayala is in the irons. And number 5 is He's My Sweetheart, the 3rd Zamudio trainee, the 2nd horse shipping in from Turf Paradise. He was beaten narrowly in a stakes race in Arizona when last seen in action in April. He's owned by Fernando Canales, and regular jockey Mark Jasso is on board. 440 yards for this Grade 2 contest to wrap up the Saturday night action at Los Alamitos.
Well, what a nice way to close out the card here on this Saturday night of racing. Of course, we got the Pick 6 carryover ending, but also got a greatest stakes in the Grade 2 AQHA Racing Championship Challenge. Purse of over $43,000. And this is just some of the hardware releases. You can see there, nice trophy. But because it is an AQHA race, some beautiful belt buckles. This one's for the trainer.
This
and that
for
one
the
is
jockey.
Jockey.
Always wanted to win one of these. I never did. These are nice. Look at this.
These are nice. Look at that. Nice contrast. AQHA Racing Challenge 2026 Regional Champion. So being that it's a regional, the winner of this race gets to represent California at the AQHA Challenge Championships later on this year.
October, right?
Yeah, October, November, late October, I believe.
Late October.
Field of 5, Two of them are covered in the pick six. Two of them. The usual suspects. Bold and Beautiful and Scoops Dynasty.
That just means if Valentin Samudio can get the victory here in the finale, we're going to have a 3-day carryover. He trains the 1, Whiskey West, the 3, Invasive, and the 5, He's My Sweetheart. Not far-fetched.
No.
And that would lead to a 3-night carryover to our Sunday night card.
It's been a while since we had a 3-night carryover. By the way, the will pay to the 2 and the 4 is $84,000 plus. So based on pool size, that's telling us that it's likely 2 tickets to each the 2 and the 4.
And if you're able to navigate it, you are well rewarded. Tip of the hat to you if you navigated this pick 6. You're alive to 2 runners, and one of them is on the screen there. That is Bold and Beautiful, the mare, facing the boys. Eduardo Nicasio aboard for Juan Aleman, who's trying to sweep the late double.
So what's interesting about this race is that we know the quality and the late kick of both the 2 and the 4, right? Can the gate speed of the 1 and the 5 steal it at 440, or is it too long?
I don't think it's too far. You see, He's My Sweetheart got a victory going 400 yards, 3 back. That was in February of last year. Only 2 starts in this 2026 season. So I don't see it far-fetched. You're going to get the 3rd start off a layoff for this outside runner, and He's My Sweetheart. And the horse likes to win races. 6 for 10. Lifetime gets the benefit of the outside draw. So I don't see it too far-fetched if He's My Sweetheart gets a clean break and they're just playing chase from the word go.
Bold and Beautiful there, currently 4 to 5 on the board. You get Eduardo Nicasio, Juan Aleman. This one also a home bird for Gentry Farms. We already got a nice winner in race number 7, trying to sweep the late double. The recent form has to hold weight. I know there's the resume and the the quantity and quality of Scoops Dynasty's career, but the recent form of Bold and Beautiful has to hold weight here, right?
I agree, yes. I mean, when you run shaking going onto a nose, going 350 yards, and you were digging and chasing every stride, you get a triple-digit speed figure. I think that is huge. 440 should not be an issue. This horse is going to want the distance, and is going to be second start off a layoff, so you should get a better effort. This horse had been off from January 11th to that June 13th race. Now had a month and a half prior to this start. I think it's spaced out perfectly by Juan Aleman. I think you're going to get the best effort out of Bold and Beautiful tonight.
No, she is the only filly facing the boys. And she hasn't faced boys in a while, as far as I can see.
You got to go back to maybe her 2-year-old season to the last time she faced boys.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
Has to be probably in those trials, right? 2-year-old trials.
2-year-old trial, that's the last time she's faced boys. I don't see it as a big issue. I think she's a horse that has a good current form. I don't see it as an issue. It's 5 runners, 4 boys, and this mare. I don't think it's gonna be any problem.
Look at the betting though, evened up between Scoops and He's My Sweetheart. They're both at 5 to 2. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting to me. They were close in the morning line of 5 to 2 and 3 to 1. I think what's more surprising is how much money Bold and Beautiful is taking. I thought the win money would spread a little further.
In the pick 4 Wool pays, Bold and Beautiful is clearly favored at $62. Then Scoops' Dynasty is $96.
Isn't that amazing that in the late pick 4, $62 to Bold and Beautiful. In the $2 pick 6, $84,000. That is wild.
Well,
that is amazing.
Take a look at the first 2 legs. What happened in those 2 legs?
But it's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. What the separation that you can get.
I mean, wow. Wow. Celtic Cowboy was odds on.
Yeah.
You had the favorite win race number 5 in LA Raven. You had a second choice win race number 7 and third choice in Good Mischief.
But I know there was a big upset to begin. But the perfect storm for separation happened with a late scratch of Romolan at the gate.
Yeah.
It was a perfect storm of just chaos.
Because then all those tickets that didn't have an alternate selection went to Attack.
And just nowhere after that break.
Attack couldn't get the victory. So, yeah, that was a perfect scenario for this big payout.
All right. Bold and Beautiful top pick.
That's my top selection at 4 to 5.
I'll rank it as 2, 4, 5 in that order. George likes it as 2, 3, 4. He's given Invasive a look. If Valentin Zamudio upsets with any of these trio, we'll have a carryover in the pick 6.
He's got 3 of the 5. The 1, the 3, and the 5 will cause a carryover. The 2, Bold and Beautiful, and the 4, Scoops Dynasty, are covered.
Let's go out to Michael Warner for the call.
Okay, thank you very much, Jose and Ulysses. They are moving in. Bold and Beautiful has come up to gate 2. 4 to 5 now for Bold and Beautiful. In making up 3/4 of a length to Shaken Going On last time out, that was into a closing split of 9.45 seconds. So her individual final 220 would have been sensational. Last to load is He's My Sweetheart. 4 to 5, Bold and Beautiful. The only mare in the field. They're set to go. Racing. Bold and Beautiful steps away cleanly with Whiskey West going very fast on her inside, and Invasive is not too far off them, and Scoops Dynasty is chiming in. It's Bold and Beautiful working to the lead, but Scoops Dynasty represents big danger, and Invasive in the middle. Scoops Dynasty laying down the law to Bold and Beautiful. Bold and Beautiful kicks and wins. The lone mare Bold and Beautiful edging Scoops Dynasty with Invasive checking in third. Number 2 first, Bold and Beautiful, dug in very gamely when Scoops Dynasty threw down the gauntlet. Nicasio getting plenty out of the 4-year-old mare in the concluding stages. She responded very gamely. To beat number 4, Scoops Dynasty, with number 3, Invasive, just tiring late between them after being in the hunt mid-race. He's finished third, and number 5, He's My Sweetheart, was fourth. It's 2:4:35 unofficially in the time of 21.72. The final 220 yards in 9.72 seconds. In thousandths, the time is 21.727. The result is official. Placings officially 2-4-3-5. We saw the trophy on the desk of Essay and Ulysses set. And they are about to make the presentation. Jose Contreras and Ulysses Gomez doing the honours. As Bold and Beautiful arrives in the winner's circle beneath Eduardo Nicasio, a 4-year-old sorrel mare by Freight Train B, from the Runaway and Hyde mare, Always Dreaming. The last 2 winners on tonight's programme, bred in Kentucky and owned by Gentry Farms and trained by Juan Aleman. That $1 double, $12.20. The trophy and the beautiful belt buckles, presented by Jose and Ulysses, who are doing a sterling job in the revamped simulcast show at losalamitos.com and on YouTube. The $1 place pick all pays $931.80. The $2 pick six, $84,059. 84 grand for the $2 pick six tonight. 5 of 6 yielding $378.40. The $1 late pick 4 good for $62.50. And that tidies up the details on our Saturday program. We thank you for playing Los Alamitos. We hope you found a few winners, if not the last 6 in a row. But congratulations to whomever did. 8 more races set down for decision on tomorrow's card, which has a 7:10 first post. Field of 9 signed up for the Cox Ranch California Regional Distaff Challenge, the last of 8 on the card tomorrow. Since there is no Pick 6 carryover, our Sunday promotion kicks in, whereby Los Alamitos will seed the pool $10,000. 10 grand straight into the Pick 6 pool tomorrow, courtesy of Los Al. In the meantime, we wish you safe travels. Hooroo!